Okay. Good morning, everyone. Okay. Yesterday, I hope many of you have given CSAT. Okay. So yesterday, during due to paucity of time, okay, we couldn't discuss all the questions. Okay. So today, okay, not only we are going to discuss all the previous questions, but before starting the discussion on the paper, I do feel that okay, I have seen 2 or 3 trends, okay, that are more prevalent in this year's paper. What are those? One, okay, there is a constant emphasis on the building blocks. Okay, if you would have attended my, I would have asked you to focus on prime numbers till 200. The basic building blocks that you start before you start a CSAT paper that you should be aware of. Okay, square still 50. Okay, square still 50. Okay, cube still 30. Okay, power still to the power of 10. Okay, such basic building blocks. You will not you will be shocked to know that at least 15 to 16 questions can be solved or solved much more faster if you had a direct idea of the basic building blocks. Okay, first. Next, UPSC maintains or prepares the key, but I could tell that the objectivity in the setting of options, in setting of the options, what do I mean by that? If I see 4 options, I should definitely, that passage should give me the evidence for me to justify why the other 3 options are wrong. Okay, and this objective has decreased. Why? Because I have seen which can be made true, based upon the thinking of the or what that person feels that subjectivity has increased. And I have seen even this in quantitative aptitude where one option could be right, another option also could be right based upon what the person is thinking. Okay, and third one is accuracy. Place from the papers I have seen 22, 23, 24, 25. Okay, accuracy is much more important in 25 rather than all the questions. Known that any question paper, any good question setter will have 3 kinds of questions, which are easy or you know how to solve the answer, but it will take some amount of time. Level 2, difficult questions where you need you need to solve the question on the spot. There is no preset behavior or pre-pattern to be followed of that sort. Okay, I find that if you miss the amount of the ratio of easy questions compared to medium and difficult has reduced in 25. What does that mean? What is the consequence of this? That there are, I definitely say there are definitely questions which are of an easier category, and to qualify CSAT, you have to get those easy questions 100% correct. In 24, 25, even you miss 1 or 2, oh, chalta hai. But 25 makes it imperative on your part, makes it unavoidable on your part to answer all the easy questions correct. To clear CSAT. So this is one trend, and fourth one is I feel that UPSC is giving signals both for students and for teachers or coaching institutes that whatever the pattern previous to 2020 or the previous pattern has been laid to rest. Has been laid to rest from 2020 with the emphasis on some trends that you see from 2020 with, for example, emphasis on basics Okay, emphasis on number systems, emphasis on subjective answers. It is here to stay. Okay, so UPSC is giving a signal even to teachers that you need to redesign your courses, you need to better get upgraded. And a part of okay, a consequence of this is I definitely feel that a good coaching is definitely required to pass CSAT, okay, at an easier level. I know, but I know your coaching does not guarantee CSAT qualification in CSAT, but a good coaching, okay, shot in the arm, okay. Discuss these trends as we go on seeing the question. You can't expect a humanities graduate from okay, some random college to be on his toes and derive processes or derive answers, okay, as the question asks. And I tell you, as okay, the number of preset questions where you need to apply this formula, you will get this answer, the amount of those questions have come down. There are many questions where you need to think on the spot, okay, for you to get the answer. Those questions might be in terms of okay, the number of options that could be used, okay. So 25 makes it clear that you definitely need a good coaching to make you clear CSAT easily, okay. Having said this, okay, these are the trends that I see here, okay. So today's session, okay, today's our analysis of 2025 paper, okay, I have tried to be most authentic, okay. That means rather than stopping at answers at the question, we will also be trying to see what are the principles involved there, or what are the concepts involved in this. And next, we are not going to stop at that, okay. I am also going to give you, because I have seen at least 8 or 10 different analysis, okay, and from there I know there were 15 to 20 questions where the answers varied from one coaching center to other, okay. I am going to give you my analysis and give you evidence as to why I think this is the best answer, okay. At least there are 15 to 20 questions where some people gave A, some people gave B, okay, different questions, different answers for the same question, okay. And I'm also going to give you the same perspective why I think one of them is correct and other ones are wrong, okay. We'll see all such questions, we'll also see their objectivity, and okay, so that at the end of the day you get a clear picture of what is going to be, if UPSC, rather than based upon subjectivity, if UPSC decides to be thoroughly objective regarding the solutions, okay, the solutions that I show you today will mostly, okay, will be 99% correct, okay. So I hope I am able to give you, okay, a bit of authenticity in, because the noise is more, okay. So I hope I am able to provide good feedback to you. So the answer of the question, we will see the concepts, interpretations, why our interpretation is correct, okay. So shall we start? Okay, good. Okay. Maintaining an ecosystem. Maintaining an ecosystem just to conserve biodiversity will affect its commerce potential as well as livelihoods dependent on the ecosystem, okay. There is also a conflict between using an ecosystem only for livelihoods, for commercial exploitation, or for conservation, okay. Reading until here itself, I get the idea of what the author wants to tell. What is it? Okay, you can use an ecosystem, okay, you can use an ecosystem in 3 ways, okay. One is you could use it for commercial purposes, you could use it for conservation, or you could use it for public livelihood. You see, he has given 3 different options: for livelihoods, for commercial exploitation, or for or strictly for conservation. Okay, these are one and done. Okay, the main aim of an ecosystem could be only commercial, only only for conservation, or only for public, okay, or livelihood for the public. Okay, what does the author wants to suggest is any one usage, any one singular usage or a singular aim, any singular aim, okay, will likely cause, okay, cause conflicts. Okay, any singular use instead of a multiple or multi-oriented approach using an ecosystem for only a singular purpose will definitely cause you some concerns. Okay, you will get this once you read through. Okay, maintaining an ecosystem just to conserve biodiversity will affect its commercial potential as well as livelihoods dependent on the ecosystem. Okay, there is also a conflict between using an ecosystem only for livelihoods, for commercial exploitation, or strictly for conservation. Okay, now deforestation caused due to commercial exploitation. So further what he has done, if you are using it for only commerce, he has given us the details regarding or the problems or the conflicts that are going to arise. Okay, deforestation caused due to commercial exploitation. So he is giving us what happens if you do for commercial exploitation will lead to some like microclimatic instability. Apart from, okay, these are all details, you could go faster in this. So this is details, you could go faster in this. Okay, these conflicts are particularly acute. Okay, these conflicts are particularly where the dependence of the people on the ecosystem. Okay, so he is telling these conflicts are more in developing countries. Okay, where dependence of people on the ecosystem is significant and the commercial exploitation has potential to boost national income. Okay, before seeing the questions and the answers, I hope you got the main idea. He is telling that an ecosystem is there. If you want to use an ecosystem, okay, instead of multi-pronged approach, if you want to use only for commercial, only for public consumption, or only for conservation, okay, this unilateral approach will cause problem for other two. Okay, that is what the passage wants to tell. Okay, now you get the main idea. Now let us see the options. Okay, which one of the following statements best reflects the critical message conveyed by the author of the passage? So critical message is nothing but the main idea. Okay, conservation of biodiversity not an issue to be worried when some ecosystems for their livelihoods. Okay, this is just going opposite to, okay, what this is telling. The passage is telling that we should not have a singular use. Okay, use for commercial, use for conservation, only for commercial, only for conservation, only for livelihood. This is likely to cause problems in other two. Okay, so this is telling that you just okay, you forgo commercial application when it is for livelihoods. The passage is not okay. So this option is going directly 180 degrees to what the passage seems to suggest. Okay, commercial exploitation of forests goes against the fundamental rights of people dependent on forest for food. Okay, so I have seen many people, okay, some people giving this. Next, sustenance of livelihood and degradation of ecosystem while being together exacerbate one another, leading to conflicts and imbalance. Okay, this is one of the options that some of the people have suggested. Okay, commercial exploitation of ecosystem should be completely stopped. Okay, the passage never said that. Okay, passage looks for a multi-pronged approach. Okay, instead of having a simple this thing. Okay, so most of you will agree that A and D are wrong. Okay, so the problem with many people is subjectivity between B and C. Okay, now let us analyze these two, okay, clearly and see which comes out a winner. Okay, commercial exploitation of forests goes against the fundamental rights, of people depend on the forest. What was the passage talking about? Okay, the passage is talking about an ecosystem first. Next, if it is only singular approach, either for commercial, either for this, either for that, okay, it will likely cause problems. So passage is suggesting a multi-pronged approach, okay, or seems to suggest a multi-pronged approach. But where is the passage telling that some rights are fundamental and commercial rights, okay? Where is a all we are talking in the passage is the conflicts or the problems that arise when you focus on a singular purpose, okay? So nowhere is the discussion regarding rights of people dependent on forests, okay? So next, one more idea that could prove you that B is wrong is, you see, for forests we have talked about ecosystem, okay, we have talked about ecosystem. What is this discussing? It is discussing forests, okay. The passage was all about ecosystem, but the option is talking about what? Forests only. So what has it done? Ecosystem is a broad category. It might have forests, it might have marshy swamps, it might have grasslands, okay, but the option that is talking is only regarding forests, okay. So this is definitely wrong, okay. So the most authentic answer, I think, will be definitely C, okay, and we have evidences in the passage to tell why this is wrong, okay. First one is forest. The whole passage talks about ecosystems, not just forests, okay, and nowhere in the passage is a discussion regarding fundamental rights, okay. So definitely C is the answer for this, okay. Okay, so this is clear. Let's go to the next one. So one is C, okay. With reference to the passage, the following assumptions have been made, okay. The following assumptions have been made. Always I tell you, assumptions, everything has to be within the scope of the passage given, okay. No country needs to be dependent on ecosystems to boost national income. Is it what the passage is talking about? No, the passage does not reflect any one of this, okay. Okay, whether countries need to develop on, okay, countries need to depend on this, okay, countries need to depend upon ecosystems or not, okay. Next, resource rich countries need to share their resources with those of scant resources so as to prevent degradation of ecosystem. Where is the passage even discussing about a transfer of material resources or something else, okay. All the passage is talking about a single-minded devotion or single-minded exploitation for ecosystems, either for commercial or for a single purpose use, okay, is likely to run into conflicts, okay. There was no discussion regarding any resource transfer or whether what country, neither one or. Next passage. The history of renewable energy suggests a steep learning curve, okay. There is a more is produced, meaning that more is produced because of economics learning by. So the passage is talking about, or the talking about renewable energy. Renewable energy, it has a steep learning curve, and what are the consequences of this? Economies of scale, okay. Point 1 is economies of scale, and 2 is by doing, okay. The firm's green dependent, okay. What is path dependent? The semicolon, okay. The more a firm does, the more it is likely to do in the future, okay. This reflects our second point, okay. The more you do, learning by doing, the more you do, the more you learn, okay. The more you do, the more you learn. So the second passage also reiterates the statement 1, okay. The strongest evidence for this is collapse in the of solar energy, okay. Strongest evidence for this is collapse in the price of solar energy, okay, which came about, which became about 90% cheaper during 2010s, okay. Repeatedly beating forecast. Moving early allowing them to dependent. So okay, all we are talking about, okay, renewable energy, okay, renewable energy, the suggests a steep learning curve, okay, moving early and gradually means economies more time to adjust, allowing them to reap the dependent breed investment without much later more chaotic transition is costlier, okay. So what is this telling? Okay, renewable energy development, the same, okay, it is path dependent, that means the more you do, the more you learn, okay. So if you take a path that has more experiments to be done, the more you learn. So renewable energy, the development of renewable energy, okay, is path dependent. And what is path? On two factors, economies of scale, and two, it is timing. The more you, okay, hello. 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 Am I audible now? Is this clear? I heard there is some disturbance. Am I clear now? People kindly respond. Anyone in the chat? Is the audio and video clear? Okay. Is this clear? Okay. So shall I continue? No problem with audio and video? Okay. Okay. So, okay. So just reiterating this again, the passage is suggesting that renewable energy, okay, or development of renewable energy, okay, has two factors, which is the development of renewable energy has two factors that come into play: economies of scale, and another one is timing. Is this clear? Okay. So I hope you got the main idea from the passage. Now let us apply this in the questions. Okay, let us. Okay. In the same way, if there is something that is objective to be done, okay, different coaching centers giving different interpretation, I will definitely, okay, and why I think only one option is the best one. Okay, next, following best reflects the central idea of the passage. Okay, you see what is the passage talking about? Okay, first let me filter out the other two, then we will find out what is the best answer. Okay, first many options were being floated. Okay, some coaching centers have gone for economies of scale, some have gone for D, and some have gone for B2. Okay, some have gone for B2. We will see why only one of this is good. Okay, let's eliminate the easiest one. Large economy in a better position to adopt green technologies is anywhere in the okay, what countries are much more suitable? Is there any discussion? No. All the passage is telling about renewable energy has a path dependence, or rather the development of renewable energy has a path dependence. Two factors, one is economies of scale and then the one is timing. So you will agree with me with the fact there is no discussion of what is better suited, what countries are not better suited. Okay, see, now have been suggested is there. Next, you see what is path dependent? The option is suggesting modern technological progress, but what is the passage? Passage is sticking itself to development of renewable energy. Okay, development of renewable energy, but what is the B suggesting? All the path dependent innovation is there. Okay, passage is suggesting just some part. Okay, our option is suggesting progress. Okay, modern tech need not be in only renewable energy, they could be in materials, any of that sort. Okay, so it has unnecessarily broadened. Okay, broadened what was the idea in the passage. So you will agree that okay, B is rather not a good option. Okay, next, green growth. Okay, now okay, most of the people have given, okay, most of the people have given even this. Why do I think this is wrong? Okay, one, yes, energy path dependent. Why path dependent? One, economies of scale, and another one is timing. But you see, what is the passage talking about? Development of renewable energy. What is passage? What is the option alluding to? Your option is scales to transition to green growth. Okay, development is different and adaptation is different. Okay, you can develop much modern technologies, but for you to make them to adapt, okay, a bit more thing is required. Never the passage talks about what is adoption. It is only talking about development of renewable energy. Okay, next, so okay, you can as okay, which is congruent to renewable energy. Okay, I will not nitpick this point, but the major fault with this is we are never talking about transition to green growth. All we are talking about is okay, all we are talking about is development of renewable energy. Nowhere in the passage is a discussion of transition to green growth. You understand, those are two different ideas. Development is different and adoption of this is different. Okay, two different settings. Okay, so but you see, you cannot make a fault with this. Timing plays a crucial role in case of green technology development. We are talking about development of renewable energy, right? So the subject matters, and even whatever that is used. Okay, I can find no fault in this D. Okay, so your answer is definitely D. Okay, so I hope this is clear. Next, with reference to the above passage, the following assumptions have been made. Okay, path dependent green investment will most likely, okay, following assumptions have been made. Part dependent, most likely benefit growth of public finances in a country as an India. First, where is it talking about countries? And in that, where is it talking about India, countries like India, and where is it talking about public finances at all? Okay, they have just stitched a few random words. Okay, they have just stitched a few random words and then made this. Okay, nowhere do we find any evidence of that corresponds to this option in the passage. Okay, if other green technologies follow the same pattern as that of solar energy, green transition, again this, what is transition? Transition is adoption. What are we talking about? We are just talking about development of renewable energy. Development of renewable energy. Nowhere is the question talking about transition to, okay, transition or adoption, okay, or shifting or movement, anything of that sort is not done. All the passage is talking about development of renewable energy is, okay, path dependent and it has scale in this. Okay, so I would, okay, take this as wrong. So it is neither 1 nor 2. Okay, neither. Okay. 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 A natural number n is such that it can be expressed as n is equals to p plus q plus r, where p, q, r are distinct factors of n. How many numbers below 50 have this property? Okay, just do this. I'll just okay. So I have seen suggestions, and okay, people who have been my students would have known that, would have known my process. Okay, we'll see a way solve, and okay, if there is any easy way possible or a much more efficient way possible, we will also discuss this. Okay, now let us see. A natural number n is such that it can be expressed as a natural number n is equals to p plus q plus r, where p, a, q and r distinct factors of n. How many numbers below 50 have this property? Okay, so most people are okay, they are just scrolling through numbers. Okay, what are the factors of 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and they are okay. The difficult way to do such problem is okay, just put in the numbers and see whether the factors come in, okay, play a role or not. 6, what are the factors of 6? 1, 2 and 6. Okay, next 7, no prime numbers are possible. 8, it is 1, 2, okay, 4 and 8, 1 plus 2, okay, this is 3 plus 4, 7. So this is also, so one way of solving this is going through options like this. Okay, but this is not an efficient way. I hope you understand. Okay, so what is the easy way? Okay, I want you to think in this way. Okay, you see, is there, which is p plus q plus r, natural numbers. Natural numbers are, we don't consider what, 0 there. Okay, we don't consider 0. Natural numbers are positive numbers. You see, even if you take the same, the least least natural number 1 plus 1 plus 1. Value is going to be 3. And what is given here? They are distinct factors. There are distinct factors. That means you can't use this. So what do I need to do? I need to make this distinct. What can I make this distinct? I will just increase the other two. Okay. So 1 plus 2 plus 3, which is equals to 6. Of looking for factors and then adding that. Okay. You easily do this now. Okay. We know that if x is equals to y, if I multiply by some constant x, okay, on both sides, the value of the equation will never change. Okay, you know this property, right? This is simpler, okay, or a fundamental property. So whatever I do, whatever multiple equation will always follow this k into 6 is equal plus 2 plus 3. Okay. Now on the both sides, right? Now look for this. What has he asked? The condition given is less than 50. How many multiples of 6 are less than 50? How many multiples of 6 are less than 50? 6 8s are 40. So how many? Okay, putting all the answers and looking for it. Okay, the easiest way could be this. Okay, I hope most of you would have done this way. Okay, so this is much more efficient, and this is definitely a round 2 question. Okay, so whenever okay, not only I'm going to suggest the answers, but I will also give you an indication which stage of the question you, okay, at which stage of the paper you should have solved that. Okay, so I always tell that you should solve the question. Okay, okay, or those questions which take 2 to 3 minutes to solve, maybe because some calculation, okay, do it on the go to find out the answer. This, okay, so this is definitely a round 2 problem. Okay, so the rather than doing this, I hope you will learn this. Okay, look for an equation possible and see what multiples are, what multiples can fit in the condition given. Okay, so the answer is okay. So I hope this is clear. Now let's go for 6. Okay, starting off this analysis, I have already told you why a good coaching center is important. Okay, or a good coaching for CSAT is important. Okay, this reflects that. Instead of doing this long division way, okay, your course should tell you, okay, how to approach or how to attack this question at all. Okay, how to attack this question. Okay, will give you evidence to that end that a good coaching is important to clear. Next, 3 prime numbers P, Q and R. I told you. Okay, one is numbers 1. You see the previous question, this was repeatedly, okay, stressed on the fact that arithmetic progression is a lurking danger. Okay, you will see even in those questions which you don't see the pattern there is always arithmetic progression, okay, involved in CSAT questions. Okay, now 3 prime numbers P, Q and R. P, Q and R. So we are talking about prime numbers. Okay. P minus Q is equals to Q minus R. Okay, P minus Q is equals to Q minus R. how many distinct possible values, of P plus Q plus R, okay, how many distinct possible values of P plus Q plus R can we get, okay. Now, okay, you could draw the equation, okay, you could solve the equation. How could you do this? P plus R is equals to 2Q, okay, and all these are primes, okay, all these are primes. So we need PQR, a set of 3 primes, okay. First I am explaining to the normal way, then I will also suggest you the most efficient way to solve this. Okay. So is 2Q. So we need primes less than 20. Okay. So the basic way is primes less than 20. How many primes are there? 2, 3, 5, 7. Okay. 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17 and 19. Okay. These are all the primes. These are all the primes less than 20. Okay. Now pick out 2 primes, pick out 3 primes, okay, which satisfy this, okay, which satisfy this, okay. P plus R 2Q, okay. So I hope you understand the basic way. I'll give you one example and we'll okay, solve the whole problem by a much more efficient way. P plus R is 2, okay, P plus R is 2Q. For example, if you take okay, 3, 5 and 7, okay, 3, 5 and 7 are 1 prime, right? You see, P R is equals to 2Q. Can I write as 7 plus 3 equals to 2 into 5? Okay, 7 plus 3 is 2 into 5, okay, this is 1. So PQR, one factor is 7, 3 and 5. Is 7 and 5. In the same way, you could okay, you could substitute these values and see, okay, what each value is get, okay. You could make it much more efficient by considering any one of the digits, okay. Put 19 in, okay, put 19 in the value of, okay, this is the basic way, okay. Now the efficient way to solve is, okay, if you remember, although most have not find this pattern, okay, but what is the definition of AP? A plus D, A plus 2D. If there is a common difference in 2 consecutive terms, a common consecutive terms, okay. So let Q and R. What is the common difference here? Take them as Q, P and R, okay, Q, P and R. You see, common difference between this is P minus Q is equals to, sorry, if you take them as, okay, the middle term should be Q. Q. Okay. P minus Q is equals to Q minus so it is PQR. You see, the same common difference exists between, okay, you see, term 1, term 2, term 3. 2 minus 1 has a common difference, okay. 3 minus 2 has a common difference. You see, in the same way, P minus Q, 1 minus 2, the common difference is equals to same, 2 minus 3. So this represents, that means, what does this, the inherent property that is there here, okay, that means PQR, okay, PQR are arithmetic progression and PQR are, okay. So PQR are arithmetic progression and PQR are prime numbers. Okay, now see which factors. Okay, while discussing, especially for my students, I have told that, okay, what are the patterns that you can find in a prime numbers. Okay, next. Okay, so now we have understood that PQR are arithmetic progression. Now look for the pattern here. 3, 5 and 7. Don't you find the common difference is 2? Okay, so the common difference is 2. Okay, you can find one more pattern here. Can the common difference be odd? Can the common difference be odd? Because all prime numbers are odd. Odd plus odd will always give you even, and except to 2 there is no even number that is a prime. Okay, so the common difference always has to be what? Even. Possible 4. For this 3 plus 4 is 7, 7 plus 4 is 11. Will you agree? 3 plus 4 is 7, 7 plus 4 is 11. Instead of what equation does, is this not a much efficient way? Next, most, why? Because always have something is possible with 6. 3 plus 6 is 9. Is that a prime number? No. Okay, so 6 is, CD is 8. Okay, so start with 3. 3 plus 8 is 11 and 11 plus 8 is 19. Okay, all three are less than, okay, all three are less than 20. Okay, will you agree? All three are less than 20. Okay, next, what is the next prime? 5. Okay, 5 plus 2 7, 7 plus 2 9. Okay, not possible. Next, because common difference has always to be even. 5 plus 4 is 9, not possible. 5 plus 6 is 11, 11 plus 6 is 17. Okay, so one more possibility is 5. Okay, 5 plus 6 is 11, 11 plus 6 is 17. Okay, and 8. 5 plus 8 is 13, 13 plus 8 is 21. Since it has reached more than 20, it is done. Okay, now one more possibility is 7. Okay, 7 plus 2 9, not possible. 7 plus 4 11, 11 plus 1 15, also not possible. Okay, so 7 and 6. Okay, 7 plus 6 is 13 and this is 19. Okay, next, 7 plus 8 is 15, not possible. Okay, so these are all the possibilities that you get. Now what has he asked for? He has asked for P plus Q plus R. You see, this is 15 distinct values. Okay, this is 30. Values are there of P 9. So the answer is definitely 4. Okay, so the answer is definitely 4. I hope you have understood the efficient way to solve this. You could solve the basic way, but it is a bit lengthier. Okay, once you find this pattern, that is what I keep telling. Okay, this reiterates the fact that, okay, a good coaching, okay, for CSAT, or if your own self preparation for CSAT, should be able to teach you to find these patterns. Okay, to find these patterns. Okay, so the answer for this is 4. Okay, this is no. How many possible values of P plus Q plus R? Possible values of P plus Q plus R are there satisfying 1 plus P plus Q plus R is equals to 1. 1 plus P plus 1 plus Q plus 1 by R is equals to 1. Okay, same way there is an efficient way. Okay, so it hardly matters because we cannot guarantee that in examination we will think of this way, but I will present you the both ways. Okay, since there is not much difference. So if I take, okay, how many values of P plus Q are possible satisfying, okay, or R and SM, and they are not necessarily distinct. Okay, they are not necessarily distinct. Okay, so So these are natural numbers. Natural numbers start from 1. Okay, so on and so forth. Okay, so basic way is okay, let's start with 1. Is this equals to 1? No. Okay, so this becomes 3. Next, 1 by 2 plus, okay, 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2. What will this be? This will be 1 point, okay, 3 halves. 3 halves is nothing but 1.5. So we need to, okay, we want the answer to be 1. So we need to remove a point from here, 0.5 from here. How can I do? I can write 1 plus 1.4 plus 1.5. Sorry, 1.4 plus 1.4. These two make 1 half and this make 1 half. So this is equals to 1 by 3 plus 1 by 3 plus 1 by 3. Don't you think this is exactly equals to 1? Okay, 1 by 3 plus 1 by 3 plus 1 by 3. Okay, next, even here itself, okay, 1 by 2 plus, you know, I need to make these two, okay, I need to make these two equals to 50%, okay, 50% is already here, I need to add one more 50%, okay. Okay, so 1 by 2 is there, I need to add one more 1 by 2, okay. So instead of just staring at what will picture into this, okay, just multiply this by any multiplier. Suppose 1 by 2 can also be written as, if I multiply this by 3, multiply this by 3, what will I get? I will get 3 by 6. See whether you can make this or not. I get one idea, 1 by 3 plus 1 by 6. The whole LCM is 6, 3 2s are 6 plus 1, okay, this is 3 by 6, right. So I can easily write this as 1 by 2 plus 1 by 3 plus, sorry, 1 by 3 plus 1 by 6, okay. So this is one more idea. So 1 is, okay, so I get 3 possibilities here, okay. If I go more, 1 by, okay, 1 by 3 done, 1 by 4 plus 1 by 4 plus 1 by 4. I need to use only, okay, 3 properties, okay. So these will not do anymore, okay. So my search is restricted till 1 by 3. So how many did we get? First one is 1 by 2, 1 by 4, 1 by 4. Next, from 1 by 2, 1 by 3, 1 by 6, and the third one is 1 by 3 plus 1 by 3 plus 1 by 3. So how many are distinct? 3, okay. Now some people might feel, okay, dealing with these difficult this, okay. So the easier way to this is, I always keep telling my students, your brain should be dynamic to see each percentage as ratio and each ratio as percentage, okay. So what is it asking for? We need, okay, percentages. We need percentages to make this as 100%, to make this as 100%, okay. Now start with 1 by 2. What is 1 by 2? Okay, so if my students remember, okay, the first thing I have done in percentages is percentage to fraction conversion. 1 by 2 is 50%, 1 by 3 is 33.33%, 1 by 4 is 25%, 1 by 5 is 20%, 1 by 6 is 16.66%, 1 by 7 is 14.28%, 1 by 8 is 12.5%, okay, 1 by 9 is 0.11%, okay. Once you get this, okay, once you get this, now apply this, okay. So 1 is anyhow not possible. Now start with 1 by 2. 1 by 2 is 50%. That means I need to make a combination of this, okay. I need to make a combination of this 100. 50 is already there, so I need to make another 50%. You see how many 50% you can make? 25 into 2. 25 into 2. So 1 by 4 plus 1 by 5, which is 25% into 2, okay, will give you 100. Next, what is the possible combination? Next, one more possible combination is 33%. 33.33%. 33.33% plus 33.33% is nothing but 100%, right? So this is 1 by 3 plus 1 by 3 plus 1 by 3. Next, again 50%. Is there any other way? That I can make 50%, okay? Just look for those patterns. Okay, when addition of 2 percentages will give you a 0. When addition of 2 percentages will give you a 0. You see, 1 by 3 is 33.33. Okay, that means to make it to a 7. You see any with 7? No. Okay, now 1 by 3 is 33.33 and 1 by 6 is 16.66. 6 plus 3 9. Since this is an infinite fraction, somewhere we will get, you see, 66.66% infinite plus 33.33% infinite. What will this be? 99.99%. So it is almost equals to 1. Okay, so 3 and 6 are matching. I always told you, always focus on the unit digit. If you are getting stuck in a calculation, always focus on unit digit. That's why my observations that we discuss in class are important. Okay, so 1 by 3. Okay, so it has to be the corresponding or the complement to get a 50% has to be either a 7. Okay, 3 plus 7 is 10. So 16.66 is near to 10, right? This is almost okay. What is 16.66 infinite? Okay, can I write this as 16.67? Okay, 7 plus 3 10. So it will give me, so same 1 by 2. Okay, 50% is 1 by 2. 33.33% is 1 by 3. Next 16.66% is 1 by 6. These two make 50%. So this is 100. So how many values? 3 values. Okay. So our second way is much more efficient. If you convert, okay, if you see ratios in terms of percentages, okay, or even if you do the basic way, although it is more lengthy, okay, you could directly, since only 3 possibilities are there, okay, so the answer is 3 again. Okay, I hope this is clear. Okay, now what comes at x and y respectively following sequence, you see. Okay, so this is a new kind of question. Okay, if you would have seen previously, okay, where they have combined quantitative aptitude, for example, reminders and calendars. Okay, if today is Sunday, what is the day after? 10 power 27 days. Okay, it is 1 PYQ. Okay, similarly he has done, okay, he has integrated 2 reasoning topics. One is series and the one is calendars. Okay, one is series and the one is calendars. Okay, so even for this we have 2 ways to solve. Okay, you can take any one, you can follow any one that you like. Okay, so one way could be Jan, Feb, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. Okay, November, December. Okay, now you see what is the first one doing? January to January. Okay, January to January. Okay, think a repeating sequence. Okay, think this as a repeating sequence. Okay, so it is going back to the same January. Next one is January to December. Okay, January to December. Okay, if you think this as a repeating sequence, this is January to December only. So what is the gap here? The gap is 0. Next, December to October. You see, December to October. What is the gap? November. Okay, gap is 1, which, okay, you have skipped November. Next, December to October. So what should be the next gap? See, here the gap is 0, here the gap is 1. So what should be the next gap? It should include a gap of 2. So forget August, forget September. Next one is July. Okay, next one is July. So this is gone, this is gone. Okay, next one is July. Okay, so this gap is 2. So next, so X is July. So the next gap has to be 3. Okay, you are in July 1, 2, 3. So you are in March again. Okay, you are in March again. Okay, so this satisfies the pattern, right? And again from March to October, what is the gap? The gap is 3. Okay, and again March to October, so the gap has to be 5 now. Sorry, the gap has to be 4 now. March to 1, 2, okay, 1, 2, 3 and 4, okay, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So March to again October, the gap is 4 now, okay, the gap is 4 now, okay, March to October, 1, 2, 3, 4. We have skipped January, February, November, December and March to October, so the gap is 4. So the next gap is to be what? The next gap has to be 5, okay, and we are starting from March to October, okay. So leave 5 months, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay. So the answer has to be April, okay. So the answer has to be April, okay. So this is one way, okay, or you could see this as, okay, the another way is you could see this as skipping from 1 year to another year, skipping from 1 year to another year, okay. So January, suppose we are in this year's January, okay, next year's January costs how much? Next year's January, what is the difference here? 12 months, okay, next year's January is 12 months, okay, January to Jan, next year's January is 12 months, okay. Next January to December, okay, see that you are progressing to the years, okay, time is, okay, time is progressing, you are transferring from 1 year to another, okay, you are moving from 1 year to another year. To December year, okay, from January to December, what is the reference? 11, or you could do this as, okay, okay, one way is this, okay, another way is to use cyclicity, okay, Jan, Feb, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, okay, clear. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So the next month will be 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, so on and so forth, okay. You see, Jan is 1, next Jan is 13, okay, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, okay. So 13, December is again what? 24, multiples of this, okay. December is 24, what is the gap? Here the gap is 12, here the gap is 11. You could go by the first method or you could write like this end, okay. So what is the next gap? It has to be 10, okay. So 24 plus 10 is, okay, 24 plus 10 is 34, okay, 36, okay, 36 is December, okay, we need 34, this is 36, this is 35, this is 34, so it is October, okay. Next, so the gap is 10, so the next gap has to be 34 plus 9, which is 43, okay. How much is 43 from multiple of 8? 48, 48 is December, okay. So 48, okay, 48, 47, 46, 45, 40, which is July, okay. So July is 43, okay. Next, so in the same way, if you repeat the same process, 43, okay, next one will be 8, that means 51. So next one will be 7, which will give you 58. Next one will be 6, which will give you 64, okay. You will see that fall in April again, okay. It will fall in April again. Either of these methods could be used for this, okay. So the answer for this is, okay, July and April, okay. Next, okay. Next one. So this is a round 1 or round 2 question, okay, based upon whether you are able to identify this pattern or not, okay, whether you are able to identify this pattern or not, okay. Clean. Next one, okay. Now this is a 2-factor problem, okay. You have seen many PYQs, this is definitely a round 1 question. Okay, so you could do it by 2 ways. Okay, one is my students would have known n by d rule. Okay, next one is here, let's see a general method. Okay, a team scored X scored a total of n runs in overs. Okay, runs, overs, and average. Okay, scored n runs in 20 overs, so the average will become n by 20. Next, a team Y scored, team Y had tied the score in 10% less overs. What is 10% of 20? 2. So 20 minus 2 is 18. So they have scored n in 18. So it will become n by, sorry, so the average will become n by 18. Next, had Y's average run rate, so Y dash, okay, this is a hypothetical scenario, been 50% higher, the scores would have been tied in, okay, would have been 50% higher, the scores would have been tied in 12 overs. Okay, so n, they would have tied in 12 overs, that means the average is n by 12. Okay, now you see this should be 50% higher than this. Okay, that means average into 3 by 2, 50% higher is, okay, 50% higher is, okay, that means there is a change by 50%. What is 50%? 1 by 2. That means if you think the base is 2, what is the multiplication factor? It is 3 by 2. So it is n, okay, n by 18 into 3 by 2. Okay, 3 6 are 18, n by 12. Okay, so this satisfies with this. Okay, how many runs were scored by team? Okay, you see 72, you see 144. Okay, 144 is a multiple of 72, and you see 216. Okay, you put all these figures here. Okay, all the three will satisfy the equation. Why? Because, okay, so 20. You see 72 by 18, which is 4, right? And next 72 by 12, which is 6. What is half of this? 4, okay, 50%. So half of 4 or 50% of 4 is 2. 4 plus 2 is 6. So this also, okay. So 72 satisfies. Now what is 144? It is nothing but a multiplication of this, right? So 72, you take, okay, 72 into 2 by 18. What will this be? 8. Same, 72 into 2 by 12, what will this be? 12. What is half of 8? 4. 8 plus 4 is 12 again, efficiency. Even for 216, the same thing follows. Okay, so all the three will satisfy the equation. That's why none of the, okay, the runs scored can't be distinctly, okay, the number of runs scored by the team cannot be distinctly identified. Okay, cannot be identified. I hope this is clear. Okay. Next, the price of a commodity. Okay, the price of a commodity is first increased percent. Okay, is first increased by k percent, then decreased by k percent, and again increased by k percent. Okay, so k percent increase, k percent decrease, k percent increase, k percent decrease. Okay, even this can be solved by two different ways. Okay, one is, okay, since k are involved, okay, and both are same, can we use chain rule here? Okay, so let us take any initial value p. Okay, it is increased by k percent, so can I write this as 100 plus k by 100. Okay, that is what it is, right? For example, initial quantity is 4. This is increased by 50%. Can I write this as 4 into 1 plus 50 by 100 is how much? Okay, it will be 100 plus 50 by or okay, or simply 1 plus okay k by 100. Okay, so this will be 100 plus 50 by 100, right? Okay, so can I write this okay following equation? Because why I am making these changes? Okay, because 10 to the power of 4 and 10 to the power of 8. That means hundreds are somehow involved. Powers, you understand these are powers of 10, right? Somehow powers of 10 are involved. So I want to express in terms of that. Okay, so the chain rule, the same one I am expressing in terms of 100 plus k by 100. So when you decrease, it will be 100 minus k by 100. Same 100 plus k by 100. Next 100 minus k by 100 will give you q. You agree with this, right? Okay, now you see all this in the denominator. Okay, 2 okay, 10 power 2, 10 power 2, 10 power 2 4 times. So it will be p by 10 power 8. Okay, p by 10 power 8 into 100 plus k, 100 minus k, 100 plus k into 100 minus k. This is equals to q. Okay, this goes here. So it will be p into 100 plus k, 100 minus k. Okay, okay, I am just okay, 100 plus k into 100 minus k will be q into 10 to the power of 8. Okay, q into 10 to the power of 8. You understand the equation? Now you see p into a plus b into a minus b. Okay, a plus b into a minus b. So it is 100 square minus of k square. Next a plus b into a minus b, same one, 100 square minus of k square, right? Now don't you think these are same? A into a, what is a into a? A square. So it will be p into 100. Can I write 100 as 10 power whole power 2? Okay, so this will be 10 power 4. 10 power 4 minus k square whole square, right? 100 square minus k square, it is being repeated 2 times. It is q into 10 to the power of 8. Okay, q into 10 to the power of 8. Now you get the answer, this. Okay, so this is one way. Okay, now okay, another way could be by substitution. Okay, look for a percentage which has okay, which when multiplied, okay, it is easier to calculate. For example, if I take 10%, what is the effective change? You increase by 10%, decrease by 10%. We have discussed especially in classes that when something increases by 10%, increases by when a quantity is changed by same percent x and decreased by same percent x, the resultant will be minus of x square by 100, right? Okay, minus of x square by 100. Okay, you see, you need to calculate. If you take this x as some 20%, 40%, what happens? You need to find out the square. So 2 into 2 is 4. Okay, so you need, but what is an efficient way? If you take 10%, okay, 10%, what is 10% into 10%? 100%. Okay, so rather than doing the square, okay, if you take other value, 10% is much more suitable for this. Okay, 10% is much more suitable for this. Okay, why? Because the squares are easily derivable. Okay, now substitute in any one of that. Okay, we are taking k as 10%. Okay, k as 10%. Okay, so now just find out. Okay, we know. Okay, if you use multiplier, people or my students would have been familiar with multiplication factor. So if you use something, okay, So increased by 10%. What is 10%? 1 by 10. That means when there are 10 parts, there is an increase of 1 part. So it will be 11 by 10. Okay, the multiplication new value will be 11 by 10. So in the same way, if it decreases by 1 part, what is the multiplication factor? It will be 9 by 10. So it will be P by, okay, 11 by 10, 9 by 10 into 11 by 10 into 9 by 10 is equals to Q, right? Okay. Now I can also write this as, okay, if I take this 11 into 9, what is this? 11 into 9 is 99. This will be 99 square. 99 square is equals to Q. I have taken P here. Q by P into 10 into 10. Okay, 10 to the power of 4. Okay. Now, even if you get here, okay, even if you get here, you need, okay, Q to have a value of 10 to the power of 4. So you see, this is automatically gone. This is automatically gone. Okay. After division by P, because, okay, this P is involved in this 10 to the power of 4, right? 4 also, right? So when you multiply something, when you bring this P values here, there should be a remnant of 10 to the power of 4 with the power of Q. Okay. So with this, cancel these two. Okay. Now 99 square. Okay. 99 square. What? Suggesting a single linear term. This is suggesting a single linear term. So you see, but this is suggesting linear square. Okay. So even with this, okay, you can easily guess. Okay, the standard way is the first way, but in exam you may, because, and plus algebra is a bit involved. Okay, I know most of us okay, have learned this long back. Okay, so we might not be reminded of that now. Okay, so even if you take a certain example of 10%, okay, why am I taking 10%? Because 10 square is easier, 1 square is 1 only. Okay, 0.1 square is same. Okay, because 1 is easier to calculate, I have just taken this. Okay, so even from this factor, you can arrange and see which would be the right answer. Okay, so definitely A. Okay, either of the way you could solve the problem. Okay. Next, each state in India. Okay, just read the passage. Okay, now getting back to the passage. Okay, each state in India, okay, each state in India faces a distinctive set of challenges regarding to impact of warming, but also offers its own opportunities. Okay, so warming affects states, okay, individually, and this presents both challenges and, okay, this presents both challenges and opportunities too. Okay, this presents both challenges and opportunities too. Okay, for example, coastal states need to take action. Okay, so now you see, this is the main idea, and what is the following? For example, they are giving you just details, or that means they are explaining the main idea. Okay, so the main idea is going to be warming. Okay, warming is individual to each state. Okay, so each state has their own set of challenges and the set of problems to be encountered with the help of, okay, with warming. Okay, so to protect, for example, coastal states. So from here to here, okay, they are just explaining the fact that, okay, once you get the main idea, these, you know that they are giving you details here, you could read faster here. Okay, so he is telling coastal states need to take action to protect their shores from sea level. Districts that are dire need to prepare for variable monsoon. Himalayan regions have to, okay, have their unique challenges. and selected parts of peninsular India and offshore areas offer greater opportunities for harnessing wind power. Okay, so the certain, okay, so this is reflecting the same. Okay, he is telling that each state, each individual state has its own challenges and opportunities with respect to warming. Okay, and as an example of that, he has given that coastal states need to more worry about erosion offshore. Next, Himalayan states need to worry about their specific challenges, and those drier states, they need to worry regarding the variability in the monsoon. Okay, so these are all details. So these various aspects need to be considered. Okay, need to be considered for developing clear and sustainable goals for the future. Okay, so whenever you make sustainable goals for the future, okay, you need to consider each state's individual, you need to make a plan, okay, which considers an individual states and challenges. I hope this is not difficult. Okay, now with this in mind, let's solve the passage. Which one of the following statements best reflects the most logical, rational and pragmatic message? Okay, rational and pragmatic message excuse me, okay, conveyed by the author of the passage. Okay, the mitigation and adaptation strategies to address or tackle the climate change is necessarily the responsibility of the state. Where is the passage talking about? What is anybody's responsibility? Okay, doing where is even the passage? All the passage is suggesting is whenever we make a plan, we need to consider each state challenges and opportunities individually. Nowhere have we discussed that whose responsibility should this be and whose responsibility this should not be. Okay, so this is definitely false. Okay, next, India is too diverse to implement effective strategy. No, this is just going beyond the passages, telling that all the passages telling that there are challenges to be done, and these challenges should be tailored for individual states. Challenges and opportunities should be tailored for individual states, but it does not tell that India is varied, we can never do an effective, okay, we cannot design and implement or effective strategy to tackle climate change. So this is wrong. It is basically responsibility. Yeah, they are just flipping the script here. Here they have asked for state being the responsibility. Here they have asked for central government being the responsibility. Nowhere is the passage discussing about whose responsibility is this. So I hope the clear objective answer is this: India needs to formulate effective climate change mitigation and adaptation strategies at state or region level. This is what the passage is talking about. Any opportunities or challenges needs to be considered at state level. Why? Because they have their own individual challenges and opportunities. Okay, all people. Okay, because the objectivity is more here. Okay, you can definitely say that all these three are wrong, and this is okay. D is the right answer. Okay. Now let's do 12. With reference to the passage, the following assumptions have been made. Okay. With reference to the passage, the following assumptions have been made. Green energy production can be linked with, okay, can be linked to or integrated with climate change mitigation and adaptation strategies. Okay, you see, okay, it is important. Okay, whenever I start okay, my reading comprehension classes, the first topic I pick is subject, verb and object. First you need to identify this. You see, what was the passage talking about? Let's just go back. At the last, they are talking about, you see, challenges, offshore areas, unique challenges, selected parts of peninsula and offshore areas offer greater opportunities for harnessing wind power. Now, don't you agree that, okay, don't you agree that green energy production, harnessing wind power is nothing but green energy production, right? Okay, can be linked, okay. So in green energy, okay, your wind power is only a part. That's why you see, if this state was green energy production has to be linked or something which gives me certainty that in all cases you need to do that, okay, then I would not have probably picked this. But green energy production can be, okay, green energy production can be linked. So he is just telling, out of all the possibilities of green energy production, some, okay, there is a possibility. Can means possibility. I can play football. That doesn't mean I will play football. Okay, so can indicates a possibility. Okay, can indicates possibility. That's why I tell you. Okay, whenever you have an option, okay, focusing on subject and verbs are very important. Okay, can climate change mitigation and adaptation strategies. Can't I tell that climate change and, okay, climate change mitigation and adaptation strategies as, okay, you see these various aspects. That means even for generation of wind power need to be considered for developing clear and sustainable goals for future. Okay, clear and sustainable goals for future. Don't you think? Okay, climate change mitigation and, okay, climate change mitigation and adaptation is a sustainable goal. Okay, so do we see the reflection of this in the passage or not? Okay, if you ask me, this is yes. Okay, now effects of climate change are much more severe in coastal areas. Okay, where is the passage talking about? Okay, is the passage a comparative? Okay, is the passage talking in a comparative tone? One is better than the other, one is worse than the other. No, all the passage is talking about each state has their unique opportunities and we need to take their unique opportunities. Nowhere is there a comparison being done. It is just telling that, suppose okay, a family has 4 brothers. It is just telling that a family has 4 brothers. Nowhere in the passage is mentioned that one brother is better than the other. In the same way here, okay, each state has their unique challenges, but okay, it is not that one is better than the other or one is inferior. So okay, so most of the people, okay, have gone for, okay, neither 1 or 2. Okay, the reason being given is green energy production. Green energy production is not being talked about. Okay, they have only talked about, the reason they gave is okay, they have only talked about wind energy generation, but here they have generalized to green energy production. They have missed this crucial picture of can be. It shows a possibility. Does wind energy come under green energy production or not? Yes. Okay, and mitigation and adaptation strategies, does this not come under sustainable goals? Yes. Okay, so my, okay, answer is definitely 1. Okay, I hope I have convinced you, okay, why A is a much suitable for this, because I see the evidences in the passage itself. Okay, next, passage number 2. Okay, if the social inequality is the most acutely felt social problem in India, if the social inequality is the most acutely felt social problem in India, insecurity more than poverty is the most acutely felt economic problem. Okay, so at the starting, at the passage of the passage itself, he has given us the main idea. Now all we need to do, okay, see whether this is the main idea or not. Okay, because I always told you, whenever we were doing the passage, I have given you whether to judge a statement based upon it is an opinion or fact. Whenever the author gives an opinion, there will always be, whatever follows will be a judgment, or okay, whatever follows will be, okay, will be a justification for why he thinks so. Okay, you see, he has made a claim that insecurity more than poverty is the most felt economic problem. So he has made a claim that insecurity is more important than poverty. So what will follow? Okay, why he thinks why it is insecurity that is a much more problem than poverty. Okay, so besides those official poverty line, even those just over the poverty line are subject to multiple economic insecurities of various kind. Okay, due to wealth, health risks, market fluctuations. Okay, many government policies are actually intended towards mitigating these insecurities. Okay, so if you see whole passage, okay, what is the main idea of the passage? Okay, I always tell you to be dynamic when you read a passage. Do not read the passage at the same level. When you read a main idea, focus. Okay, read it according to your comprehension. When you know that he is providing some examples or details, you need to read faster. Time management is very important. Okay, even while doing reading comprehension. Okay, so your main idea has comprehension level, but whenever you are reading the details, you see this is all, you know that he is just explaining the previous fact there. Okay, so many government policies are actually intended to, so the whole idea of the passage is this in the main line. Okay, there are problems. Okay, India has social problems, economic problems. Social problems are inequality. Okay, inequality. Economic problems are, there is insecurity and there is poverty. Insecurity is much, okay, insecurity is much more acutely felt than poverty. This is what all the passage is talking about. Okay, insecurity is a much prevalent problem, or or is a much more acute problem than poverty. Okay, I hope you agree with this. Okay, now once you get the main idea, I told you main ideas are important. Okay, once you get that, you see how easy this becomes. Which one of the following statements best reflects the, okay, best reflects the critical message conveyed by the passage? Okay, India's political executive should be aware that poverty and social inequality and consequent sense of insecurity is the main social problem. Nah. What is the main idea? Social problem. Okay, social problem is inequality. Economic problem is insecurity and poverty, and insecurity is greater than poverty. Okay, or insecurity is greater than poverty. What is this passage doing? This is jumbling both and telling that all these problems are social problems. Okay, insecurity, poverty are social problems, and India's political executive need consider. Okay, so this is simply not. Okay, so in India, poverty is the primary reason for social inequality and insecurity. What is the passage telling? Insecurity is a much more acute problem than poverty. This is going opposite. Okay, and next, poverty is what? Poverty is described as an economic problem. Okay, one wrong is this. Next wrong is poverty is described as an economic problem. Okay, the passage does not discuss poverty as a social problem. But what is this doing? Poverty is the primary reason for social inequality and insecurity. They have made it a social problem. Okay, so this is wrong. Poverty and social inequality are intricately linked. Intricately linked that they pose an unmanageable crisis for India. Where has even the passage talked about, is this manageable or not? I am just telling that. Okay, this is like Taj Mahal is made with white marble. Okay, if the passage is telling that Taj Mahal is made with white marble, and the option is telling that Taj Mahal is beautiful. No, the passage only tells that it is made with white marble. Okay, so it may be beautiful to someone, it may not be beautiful to someone. In the same way, okay, the passage is just telling that there are these problems. The passage has never discussed that whether they are unmitigatable or not, or they can be conquered or not, they can be worked upon or not. Okay, the passage never discussed that. It just discussed that these are the problems there. Okay, so this is telling that India cannot do this. Okay, this is wrong. So the only left is, okay, insecurity more than poverty is the main economic issue that government policies must address. Okay, this is what the passage is talking about. Okay, so definitely D. Okay, clear? I hope, even though this takes more time, I hope I am able to give you a value addition, okay, when compared to others, because especially in those subjective questions, okay, because many students might be confused. I have answered this, whether this be right or wrong. Okay, So I want to give you the most objective answers as much as possible. Okay. So I hope you excuse the extra time that is being taken. Okay. Okay, just with reference to the above passage, the following assumptions have been made. People above the poverty line are also prone to suffer from anxiety about economic insecurity. Yes, the passage is talking about this, right? Where is the, okay. You see, besides those below the poverty line, even those just over the poverty line are also subject to multiple economic insecurities. Okay, economic insecurities. Okay, so this is true. Next, eradication of poverty can result in peace and social equality in India. Okay, what was the scope for poverty being discussed? Because it is an economic problem. Okay, you see what has he made? Poverty can result in a peace and social equality. He has made poverty into the option is telling that poverty is a social problem. Okay, eradication of poverty will lead to social equality. Is this what the passage is talking? Nah. Okay, so he has just mixed those and given you. So the answer is definitely A. Okay. Okay, so this is definitely a round 1 question. Okay, you have learned cubes. Okay, if you have learned cubes, this is easy. Okay, a solid cube is painted yellow in all its faces, then the cube is cut into 60 smaller pieces. Okay, now first thing you see 60 is it is not a perfect cube. Okay, it is not a perfect cube, and you see the answers for minimum. Okay, for minimum number of cuts. Okay, for minimum number of cuts, what needs to be in, okay, number of pieces in each axis has to be minimum. Number of pieces in each axis has to be minimum. And when will be the pieces be minimum? When will be the pieces be minimum? When the distribution among, okay, all the 3 axes, x into y into z, okay, is as close as possible. For example, take 64. Okay, take 27 pieces only. Okay, 27. Okay, 27 cubes can be made in 3 into 3 pieces. So you need to make 2 into 2 into cuts. Is this the only way to make 27 pieces? No, you could do other ways too. Or 64 is a better example for this. Okay, 64 is 4 into 4 into 4. That means you need to make 3 pieces into 3 pieces into 3 pieces. This is for the most okay, amount of cuts. Okay, amount of cuts. I can even, okay, 64 is 4 into 4 into 4. I can make this as 2. Okay, I can make 8 cuts here, 2 cuts here, 4 cuts here. Even these will result in how many? 64 pieces. Okay, 64 pieces. But this is not the most efficient way. Okay, for minimum possible number of cuts, okay, your distribution has to be as close as possible. Okay, now look for the factors of 60. 60 can be written as 2 into 3 into 10. 10 can be written as 2 into 3 into 2 into 5. You see, we cannot make an equal distribution. Why? This is not a perfect cube. So make as nearest distribution as possible. Okay, if I combine these two, can I write this as 3 into 4 into 5? Okay, difference is 1, difference is 1. Okay, difference is 2. Okay, this is the least possible combination that I can make. Okay, now any other combination, you see the difference will be more. For example, if you take this 2 into 3 into 10, you see what is the difference? 7 here, 7 and 3, 10, and difference is 8. Okay, so for minimum number of cuts, the distribution has to be as equal as possible. Okay, so these are the number of pieces. For 3 number of pieces in one axis, how many cuts you need to make? 2 cuts. This has to be 3 cuts. This has to be 4 cuts. So 2 into 3 into 4. So how many cuts? 2 plus 3, 5. 5 plus 4 is 9. So the minimum number of cuts is 9. Okay, you will agree with this, right? Next, the number of small pieces which are not painted in any face, okay, any face. So we know that, okay, this is an easy correlation, okay. The relation is as the number of faces increase, okay, or the relationship is inversely proportional to, okay, the geometric object. For example, 3 faces painted are associated with corners, which is a point. 2 faces painted are associated with edges, which is a line. 1 face painted are associated with area or a face, okay, which is associated with area. So 0 face painted are associated with volume. How the geometric complexity increasing? We started with a line, okay, dot. Combination of dots is line. Combination of line is area. Combination of area is volume. You see the reduction in number of faces: 3 faces, 2 faces, 1 face, 0 face. So is associated with volume. Volume is, okay, since this is an cuboid, it is, okay, it is cuboid. So the number of cubes with 0 face painted is minus 2 into n2 minus 2 into n3 minus 2. Okay, I hope due to the concept, the formula. So this has to be 1 into 2 into 3. Okay, not painted on any face is 6. So the answer is both 1 and 2. Okay, so the answer is both 1 and 2. I hope this is clear. Okay. Next, 7, 24, 25. Okay, you remember at the start of the, okay, when we were discussing the analysis, I said the basic blocks, okay, square still 50 are important. If you just would have, okay, known that, okay, you would have identified this as Pythagorean triplets. Okay, Pythagorean triplets. That means these are possible sides for, okay, possible sides for, okay, possible values for sides of an right angle triangle x, y, z, which is square root of x square plus y square is equals to z. Okay, or, okay, if you would have known Pythagorean, what are the famous Pythagorean triplets? 3, 4, 5. You multiply this by 2, you will get 6, 8, 10. Okay, if you were my student, I would have discussed this in, okay, class. Okay, so either you could identify from those Pythagorean triplets, or you could directly go for, if you remember the basic blocks. Okay, you see 7 square is 49 plus 24. Okay, so this is nothing but 24. Okay, 25 is 625, 24 is okay, 576. This is 625. Next 12 is 144, 196, 400. Okay, now you need not calculate, okay, 16 square plus 63 square. Okay, you need not calculate 16 square plus 63 square. I have told you always, okay, in our observations, okay, my students would have known. Okay, one thing in observation that I tell completely is, okay, before doing the calculation, see for the unit digit. Okay, so instead of finding 16 square, okay, and doing all the calculation and all, you see what will be the unit digit of okay, 16 square, 6 6 are 36. Okay, so it is going to be 6. Next it is going to be 3 square is going to be 9. So the unit digit must have reflected 5 in it. You see, only 1 square, okay, okay, 1 2 square will end with a 5. What is it? 5. Okay, 7 square will end with a 0. 6 square will end with a 6. Okay, and 4 square will end with a 6. Okay, so the only possibility is 65. So rather than calculating, you could have solved, okay, you could have saved and the 20 to 30 seconds here if you just focus on the observation that we regularly discuss in class, which is focus on the unit digit. Okay, so the answer for this is definitely 65. Okay, next. The petrol price shot up by 10% as a result of hike in crude oil prices. Okay, the price of petrol before the hike was 90 rupees per liter. Okay, a person travels 2200 kilometers, okay, every month. And his car gives a mileage of, okay, 16 kilometers per liter. 16 kilometers per liter. How many kilometers should he reduce his travel if he wants to maintain his expenditure? Okay, we discussed, okay, many times. These are nothing but two factor problems. Okay, even here I will discuss one way. Okay, in class we always discuss this as n by d rule. Okay, n by d rule. Another way, okay, this is general way. Okay, people who are not my students can take of this fact. You see, increasing by 10%. You see, the distance traveled. Okay, the distance traveled is petrol, okay, petrol into, or petrol consumed into mileage. Okay, or petrol into traveled, okay, or the distance traveled, okay, will give his expenditure, right? Will give his expenditure. One, okay, the price of one has increased by 10%. 10%. So what is the multiplication factor? 10% is 1 by 10. That means out of 10 units, 1 unit is being increased. That means what is the multiplication factor? P into, okay, 1.1. Okay, increase of 10%. 10% is 0.1, or you could take by ratio or fraction 2. Okay, into Q. Okay, this has increased by this, but the consumption should remain constant. Okay, consumption should remain constant. So this has increased by this. So what should happen? Okay, what should happen for the traveling distance? Okay, what should happen for the traveling distance to be divided by this? Okay, you are multiplying by, okay, the product should remain constant. You are multiplying by some factor x. Okay, divide by the same factor x. Okay, you see, if I multiply by 3 and if I divide by 3, will the result going to change? It will still be x, right? So, okay, you are increasing by 10%. That means multiplication factor is 1.1. So decrease by 1.1. Okay, so the distance he used to travel 2200 kilometers. Okay, by 1.1. Okay. So the distance that he is going to travel now is going to be 2000 kilometers. So how many should he reduce? Previously he used to travel 2200 kilometers. Okay, now he is traveling 2000 kilometers. That is, okay, a reduction of 200 kilometers. Okay, next, n by d rule. What does n by d rule tell you? Okay, n by d rule will always give you, okay, the component or the neutralizing component, okay, for every increase or decrease. Okay, the neutralizing component for every increase or decrease. Okay, so what has happened here? It is increased by 10%. It is increased by 10%. So what should be the compensating factor for, okay, what should be the compensating factor for the product to remain the same? Increase by 1 by 10, decrease by, okay, 1 by 11. Okay, so this is plus n by d. So the resultant has to be minus of n by n plus d. We call n by d rule. So increase of 1 by 10 will be compensated by 1 by 11. Okay, decrease by 1 by 11. So 2200 is this. Okay, this distance should reduce by 1 by 11. Okay, so directly you can get 200. Okay, even if you think of this, okay, 1.1, or you use you take a value, or use or you take even for 100. Okay, you take any value and multiply and see. Okay, the answer presents us the most efficient way to solve such problems. Okay, I hope this is clear. Okay, next one. Definitely you should have solved this at the first instance itself. Okay, and even this is a round 1 problem. Okay, so I have seen that, okay, the round 1 problems are less, but okay, they are still there. At least there are 10 to 15 such problems where you should have done it at the first instance itself. Okay, so this is round 1. Okay, R1, and even 17 is R1. Failing is always depends, okay, especially in 2025, depends whether you are able to solve all the round 1 questions easily or not, okay, within the specified time. Okay, now let us go for the next one. Okay, a digital number when divided by n, okay, of n, okay, when divided by is such that when divided by 3, 5, 6, 9 leaves the remainder of 3, 5, 6, 9 leaves a remainder of 1, 3, 4, 7. Okay, if you observe, this is one pattern of okay, LCM and HCF. You see the difference: 3 minus 1 is 2, 5 minus 3 is 2, 6 minus 4 2, 9 minus 7 is 2. Okay, so the common difference, okay, the common difference has remained the same. So this will remain of what? Okay, negative remainder. So this is LCM of, okay, LCM of the given factors 3, 5, 6, 9 minus of negative remainder, okay, minus of negative remainder, or okay, if you do this you are going to get the answer. Okay, or much more easier way, I hope you have understood this. Okay, we have discussed problems like this. Okay, remainders are different, but okay, the difference constant between all this, or the easiest way to solve problem is, or the most efficient is, you see 3, okay, you see 3 and 9 are given. Okay, 3 and 9 are given. So whenever 3 and 9 are given, if you would have used divisibility rules, or if you had a grip over divisibility rules, the easiest divisibility rules are 3 and 9. Okay, that means see which numbers, okay, when divisible by 3 leave a remainder 1. That means, okay, the sum total when divided by 3 must, okay, give a 1. You see 6 divisible by 3 not happens. 1 plus 8 9, so this is not possible. 7 plus 2 9 plus 1, okay, this might be possible. Okay, when looking for 3, 7 8 plus 1 9 plus 7. Okay, so the remainder is 7 3 2s are 6 plus 1, so this also might be possible when we consider just 3. So 8 plus 1 9 plus 2. Okay, so the remainder is 2 in this case, so this is not possible. Next, go for 9. When divided by 9, it should leave 7. You see 7 plus 2 9, so this is done. So what is the, okay, what is remainder? Here it is 1, but the remainder for 9 should be 7. You see 8 plus 1 is 9 plus 1, remainder is 7. Okay, simply just by looking at, and okay, instead of finding the LCM, okay, even that is not difficult, but the much more efficient way is if you just look through this, okay, you will get the answer 1078. Okay, so this is also a round 1 problem. Okay, you should have done this. Okay, next, after long a non-complicated inequality problem. Okay, and my students, okay, you would have seen the most efficient way to solve any inequality problem. Okay, what is that? Just fix. Okay, there are many ways you can take values, and okay, one way of solving this is take values. First, he is asking a relationship between B is always greater than E, and second one is S is always less than V. Okay, one way of solving this is give some values based upon the relationship that exists. Okay, so we need to compare B and E. Okay, so B is always greater than C, so this is 11, this is 10. Okay, C is lesser than D, so this is 9. Okay, and D is sorry. Okay, So this is 10. Okay, C is greater. Okay, D is greater than C. So this has to be 10 plus. Okay, or give it a value of 12. Okay, this has to be greater than E. So it has to be. You see, you can never clearly say that. Okay, this could be 11. This could be 10. This okay. B will always be greater than E. Solving it. Okay, where you give certain values based upon the logical expression given and find out. But what is the most efficient way? The easy. All you need to travel from B to C. Okay, you can only travel in. Okay, if in the direction of your traveling, if you are encountering only the family of greater or greater than or equals to. Okay, if you encounter only greater, it is greater. If you encounter greater and greater than or equals to, it is greater. If you encounter only greater than or equals to, it is greater. Okay, now you see. So these are simple rules. Okay, so travel from B to E, B towards E. See, you are encountering greater, you are encountering greater than, or you are encountering greater, you are encountering lesser than. So in this case, what happens? There can be no relationship. Okay, you can only go through greater. Okay, relationship can only be formed if they belong to one family, greater, greater than, or equals to. Okay, and we have seen easy ways to solve this problem. Okay, so the answer is this is wrong. Next, S is always less than V. So you need to travel from S to V. Okay, travel from S to V. So what do you encounter? You encounter equals to, you encounter lesser than or equals to. So S is lesser than or equals to V. But what is he asking for? Sorry, S is lesser than V. Okay, S is lesser than V. So S could be lesser than V or S could be equals to V. But the statement is asking S is always lesser than V. S is always lesser than V. So this is wrong. Okay, so the answer is neither 1 nor 2. Which of the following are correct? Okay, neither 1 nor 2. Okay, so this is also a round 1 question. Okay, which you should have solved. Okay, what is the unit digit in the multiplication of 1 into 3 into 5 into 7 into 9? You see a 5 here, and all are what? 7, 9, all are odd numbers. Okay, 5 multiplied by any x odd number will always result in a 5. This is 5. Okay, so you should have, and that this is a round 1 question. Okay, I hope this is clear. Okay, next let's go for this. Okay. Realities of agricultural sector. Okay, one of the dismal realities of agricultural sector in independent India has been it never experienced a high growth phase. Okay, it has never experienced a high growth phase, unlike the non-agricultural economy. Okay, so you see, all this passage is talking about agriculture. Okay, it is talking about India's agriculture only. Okay, with respect to non-agricultural sectors. Okay, the highest decadal growth rate, okay, for agriculture has been just okay 3.5% in the 1980s, and also after experiencing a spurt in decadal growth rate during 1980s. Okay, decadal growth rate during 1980s, agricultural growth suffered relative stagnation thereafter. Okay, this is in sharp contrast to non-agricultural growth, which consistently increased from 1980s to 2000, 1980s to 2000. Okay, which one of the following statement best reflects the corollary to the given passage? What is corollary? Corollary is nothing but consequence or effect and cause. Okay, your effect, okay, if there is a cause and effect, okay, something has happened, it has happened to, okay, it has resulted in something else. Okay, your effect is what is corollary, or the proposition, or the its but special definition is, okay, corollary is a proposition that is true given, okay, given the statements are true. Okay, given the statements are true. Okay, okay, given the statements are true. Okay, let's see. So we all know it is a discussion between agricultural sector and non-agricultural sector. Okay, you see, rural to urban migration resulted in stagnant agricultural sector. Okay, so has even the passage discussed about some migration and all. Okay, it has just said that we have not found a high growth phase in agricultural sector when compared to this. Okay, so do you find any evidence of it is because of rural urban migration in the passage? No. Okay, so this is wrong. Okay, here you see, India lagged behind other countries in adapting mechanized and modern farming. Okay, India lagged behind other countries. So what is being done here? Here India is being compared to other countries. What is the passage doing? In passage, okay, in passage, agriculture, India's agricultural sector is being compared with non-agricultural sector. So this is, okay, this does not make sense. Okay, for India, green revolution was not useful as it was expected. Where is even a discussion of green revolution? Okay, where is even a discussion of green revolution in this? Okay, so this is wrong. So definitely A has to be the answer. Okay, the benefit of economic reforms percolates, okay, down. Okay, so 80s might have, okay, we know that 80s have the economic reforms okay, started in 1980s. Okay, although it is 1991, that is movement, okay, India's movement, but it started in Rajiv Gandhi's time only. Okay, so the benefit of economic reforms percolates down. Okay, so see, okay, whether this affects, okay, he is asking for corollary, whether this explains our agricultural growth having being less than non-agricultural growth. Okay, if the growth percolates down slowly, that means the growth will be slow due to economic changes. Okay, the growth will be slow in agricultural sector. That is what the option is telling. Okay, the benefit of economic reform percolates down more slowly to the agricultural sector than other sectors. Okay, even if you don't understand this, okay, the passage is comparing agricultural sector, you see, agricultural sector than in other sectors of economy, agriculture to other sectors. Okay. This is definitely the answer. Okay, so this is clear. Next, okay, with reference to the passage, the following assumptions have been made. Okay, following assumptions have been made. The growing divergence between fortunes of agriculture and non-agriculture economy in India could have been contained. Okay, always you are bound by the limits of the passage given. Has the passage, okay, it is just told us that our agricultural growth is different than non-agricultural. Has it given you any reasons why it has happened such, or what could we do to solve this? Okay, so only the problems were discussed here, never the solutions. You see, all these appear like solutions. Adapting large scale cultivation of passage never talks about a solution based approach. It is talking that we have this problem, this has happened, okay, it is just discussing a problem there. Okay, so never mentioned in the passage, okay, commercial crops, Okay, next, free insurance, heavy subsidizing seeds, fertilizers, and economy were developed, okay, at par with other. Again, it is comparing with other countries. No, the problem, okay, the passage is only talking about agricultural sector with another this thing, okay. So it is never 2, okay. So it is neither 1 nor 2, okay, neither 1 nor 2. In our country, handlooms are equated with a culture that ensures a continuity of traditions. Handlooms are equated with a culture that ensures a continuity of this idea has become a part of public policy framing and provides a legitimate basis for state to support the sector. Okay, legitimate basis for state to support the sector. But the notion of tradition as a single linear entity, you see, but therefore, since, okay, these are signal words. Whenever you see this, that means whatever that follows is much more important than what is said before. Okay, so the notion of tradition as a single linear entity is being strongly contested today. Okay, so tradition as being a linear, okay, x leads to y leads to z. Okay, so tradition interpreted as linear change is strongly disagreed with. Okay, is strongly disagreed today. Okay, the narrative is dominant in defining a culture in a particular way have seems to emerge from identities. Okay, first all large sections. Okay, why? Okay, why tradition? Okay, tradition as something linear has a problem. Why? Because, okay, all the traditions that have come, okay, all the traditions that have come seem to be, okay, seem to be involved with a large communities. Okay, large or majority of the community, okay, is to see have emerged as identities and histories of large sections. That means they are not traditions of all the people. Okay, the traditions that we have have come down have majorly come down because of they are associated with a particular community only. Instead of generalization, they are, okay, and instead of generalizing, instead of it being for all, those traditions came down from the past because of, okay, because of being associated with a particular one. Okay, especially large sections. The discounted and at times forcibly stifled identities are fighting for their rightful place in history against this backdrop. Okay, because of traditions being, okay, traditions being emerged as a large community, those small identities, okay, they are fighting for their own place because tradition has been taken over by large communities. Those small identities are fighting for their own place. So, okay, against this backdrop, when we promote handloom as a traditional industry, it is not surprising that large population, you see, that large sections of population, okay, is whole of okay, everybody rejecting handlooms? No. Okay, and is everybody rejecting them because they are not good? No, they are rejecting them because they are seen as a tradition. Tradition is being seen as a majority narrative, okay, or a large narrative of a certain set of people only. It is not of everyone's. Okay, only tradition is a narrative of a certain people only. Because of that, people are not supporting handlooms. Okay, this is what the passage is telling. Okay, now. So, which one of the following statements best reflects the most logical and rational message conveyed by the passage? We need to free the handloom industry from limited narrative linked to preserving cultural heritage. Okay, definitely pick me. This is what, okay, the passage suggests. Next, continued state support to handloom industry ensures the preservation of some of our glorious forms and traditions. Okay, the sense of the passage is negative. It is talking about why, okay, handloom is not being treated, is okay, not that popular is because it is being associated with tradition. Okay, so this is telling that continued state support. Okay, state should continue its support, so we have never talked about whether the state should support it or not. Okay, household units of handloom sector should be modernized and made an economically viable organized industry. No. All the passage is talking about, okay, that we should, because of handloom associated with tradition, and traditions are being associated with that of a majority community, people are not supporting handlooms, okay. Household units are not modernized. If you modernize them, everybody will okay, start encouraging the handlooms. No, handloom products needs to be converted to machine made designer products. No. This is also not the problem. We are not, or the manufacturing process of handlooms. We are just talking that because handlooms are associated with tradition, and tradition is associated with majority communities, okay. In this background, people are not preferring handlooms, okay. That too not majority of the people, okay, large sections of the population, okay, large sections of the population, okay. So this is objective, okay. There cannot be another option here, okay. A is definitely the right one. Next, okay. With reference to the above passage, the following assumptions have been made. There is no need for state to be involved in any manner in the handloom sector. Are we talking about the involvement of state, whether it should involve itself or it should not involve itself? Nah, okay. Next, handloom products are no longer appealing and attractive in the rapidly changing modern world, okay. What is this suggesting about, okay? Is talking about, okay, handloom, okay, handloom products, they are no more appealing, okay. Appealing and attractive is in an aesthetic sense, okay. Something is looking good, okay, you want to buy that, okay. In that sense it is talking handloom products, okay. The option conveys a idea that handloom products are no longer appealing, okay, to in a rapidly changing modern world, okay. So in this option I have seen divergence here, okay, divergences here, which is, okay. So obviously one is wrong and both 1 and 2 are, okay, these are out of the question, okay. So most of the people, okay, they are worrying about either okay, whether 2 or neither 1 or 2, okay. Some people, okay, some institutes seem to refer okay, 2, and some are going for neither 1 or 2, okay. Now I want to give you my perspective here, okay, and I will give you the reasoning to why it is, okay. Where in the passage, okay, where in the passage are we talking about handloom products, okay, the quality or the appealing nature, okay, the quality or the appealing nature of handloom products? No, we are never talking about what is the quality of the handloom products. We are only talking because tradition is seen as majority, okay, majoritarian based, okay, and since handloom is involved with the tradition, people are not preferring handlooms, okay. So if handloom comes out of that straight jacket of tradition or a boxed scope of tradition, people, okay, the passage seem to suggest that people will prefer, okay. So handloom products are no longer appealing, see, and no longer, okay, handloom products are not preferred. But what is the passage telling? Okay, handloom products, it is not surprising that large sections of the population, they may not be appealing. That means there are some people who still, okay. So this does not, okay, especially this line does not give us an idea that handlooms are not popular at all, okay. For the large sections, they are not appealing. Why? Because of they link with traditions, okay. So okay, so people who suggest 2, okay, they might be overlooking okay, the aesthetic or they might be overlooking the aesthetic quality with this. Okay, the passage never suggests that. Okay, the problem. Okay, the problems are twofold. One, it is, okay, the passage never suggests that. Okay, no longer 2 in a rapidly changing modern world. Okay, that means it is applicable to whole of the modern changing world. The passage never suggests that. It is that for large section of people, it is that. That means there are some people who still prefer handlooms. Okay, this is not the idea that is being reflected in the passage. And next, it is about the appealing and attractive nature. Okay, the appealing and attractive nature. Okay, it all talks about it because there is a tradition and handlooms are associated with tradition. This is the preference. Okay, would be neither 1 nor 2. Okay, neither 1 nor 2. Okay, next. Okay, consider the first 100 natural numbers. Okay, first 100 natural numbers. How many of them are not divisible by any one of 2, 3, 5, 7 and 9? Okay, 2, 3, 5, 7 and 9. Okay, so we'll also discuss an easy way, okay, and a normal basic way. Okay. Okay, so consider the first 100 natural numbers. That means natural numbers start from 1 to 100, right? 1 to 100. How many of them are not divisible by any of 2, 3, 5, 7 and 9? Okay, 2, 3, 5, 7 and 9. Okay. So you see, what are prime numbers? Okay, one way to solve this problem is, okay, go on considering the numbers. Okay, 2, 3, 5, 7, 9. Okay, okay, one way of solving this is writing multiples. Okay, see, 2 gone, 2, 4, 8 gone. Okay, 3, 6 gone. So what will be remaining? Get 2, 3. Okay, not divisible by any. 2 gone, 3 gone. Okay, 5 gone, 6 also gone, 7 also gone. Okay, 8 also gone, 9 also gone. Okay, so there is nothing in 10. Okay, next 11 to 20. Okay, 11 to 20. Is 11 divisible by any one of them? Okay, 11. Okay, so the basic way is counting this, but this is not efficient. Okay, this is not efficient. This shows a rather crude approach. What is the easier way? You see, what are prime numbers? You see, again, this focus on basics. Okay, this focus on basics. What are prime numbers? Prime numbers are those, okay, whose factors are 1 and the number itself. Whose factors are 1 and the number itself. So how many prime factors? Okay, how many primes are there within 100? Okay, the number of primes are 25, right? And primes are, they start from 2 to, okay, 97. You see, 2 to 5. And what are the primes that are involved? 2 is a prime, 3 is a prime, 5 is a prime, 7 is a prime. Okay, so out of all the primes, okay, primes will not be divisible by any of these numbers, right? Primes will not be divisible by any of these numbers. And he has given, we have to know these 3, okay, because these 3 should not be considered. Okay, so 25 minus 4, okay, will be 21. Now if you do 21, okay, you would have fell into that trap of setter. Why? In primes, what do we consider? Our primes start from 2 to 97 only, 100. Okay, 2 to 97 only. Okay, it does not consider 1. Okay, so 1 is neither divisible by 2, 3, 5, 7 and 9. So 21 are prime numbers. Okay, 21 are prime numbers, and 1, okay, plus 1 will be 22. Okay, so the answer is 22. Next, okay, I hope this is clear. Okay. Next. If, okay. Four less than x less than 8. Okay. So x varies from 4 to 8. Okay. Y varies from 2 to 7. Okay. Maximum value of x plus y. For maximum value of x plus y, x value has to be maximum, y value has to be maximum. Maximum value of x is, okay, 8. Maximum value of y is 7. So 8 plus 7 is 15. Next. Minimum value of x minus y. Minimum value of x minus y. Okay. For minimum value of x minus y, since we are subtracting from y, the higher the value of y, okay, the higher the value of y, the higher you go into negatives. That means your value will still reduce. So what is the maximum value of y? Okay, it is 7. And what is the minimum value of x? It is 4. Okay, 4 minus 3 is minus 3. So it is minus 5. Okay. So it is none of the above. Okay. Next one. Okay, let P and K be prime numbers. Okay. P and K be prime numbers such that P square plus K, okay, is also a prime number less than 30, is also a prime number less than 30. Okay. So this is P square plus K. It should be a prime number. Okay. Same again, go to the basics. Okay. For this to be a prime, what needs to happen? A prime is always odd number. You see, you are adding two numbers. Okay. Most of the primes are what? Most of the primes are odd. There is only one prime which is even, which is 2. So odd plus, okay, odd plus even has, okay, has always to be odd. Okay. So, and you are adding two prime numbers. Okay, two prime numbers, 2. Okay, the least prime number is 2. Okay. So can you add any two prime numbers to get 2? No. Okay, since it is the least prime. So definitely all prime are odd. So odd. Okay. What are the possibilities for this? For this to be odd, okay, this could be odd plus, okay, there are two possibilities. Okay, P square. Okay, I am just making this P square K. Okay, P square plus K. Okay, we will see the possibilities here. Okay, P square plus K. If, okay, if P square is even, then K has to be odd. Okay, so P square plus K has to be odd. Okay, now see all the odd factors less than 30. Okay, so for P square to be even, okay, property odd into odd is always odd. Okay, for P square to be even, that means what? It has to be 2. Okay, so the only value possible is 4. Now look for, okay, look for, you see prime numbers less than 30 are 3, 7, 5, 9, 11, sorry, 3, 5, 2, 3, 5, 17, 19, 23, okay. see those primes, which have a difference of 4. Okay, 3 plus 7, 4. Okay, 7 and 11, 4. 13 and 17. Okay, 13 and 17, again 4. Okay, so how many values did we get? Okay, so we get 3, 7, okay, 13 different values of k are this. Next, one more case is if p square is odd and k is even, okay, and k is even this is odd. So what is the value of k? Okay, only even is 2. Okay, now look for those primes which have a difference of 2. Okay, 3 and 5, 3 and 5. Okay, so difference of 2 is 3 and 5. Next, 7, okay, 11 and 13, 17 and 19. Okay, if you combine both, what has he asked? He has asked for just okay, different values of k. Okay, you see the possible value. Okay, 2 is there, 3 is there, 7, 13, 13 is already done. Okay, so 19 is this. Okay, so 11 and 13, so the okay 5. There are 5 unique values. Okay, the possible values of k are 5. Okay, possible values of k are 5. Okay, you have already seen okay, what are the parameters that are required. Okay, so the answer is 5. I hope this is clear. Okay, so even is 2. Okay, or okay, 2, 3, 5, or let me present the answer in a better 11, 13, 17, 19. See, this is also and the okay basic question depending on the prime number. Okay, 23, number less than 30, 23, okay, 23 and 29. So p square plus k. Okay, okay, so plus k. Okay, the pos. So first one is if p square is okay, because this has to be odd, let us take p square as even. Okay, and k is odd. Okay, p square as even, that means there is only possibility which is 4. Okay, so p square plus k is okay, this is also a prime number. Okay, these two are also prime numbers, so this is already 2. So we need to look for those values, okay, which with a difference of 4. You see, 4. So p square plus k, I can write 4 plus 3 is equals to 7. Okay, 4 plus 3 is equals to 7. I am writing in the same format so that you will be easy to calculate. Next, 4 plus 7 is equals to 11. Next, 4 plus 13 is equals to 17. Next, 4 plus 19 is equals to 23. Okay, 4 plus 19 is equals to 23. Okay, only these are the possible values. You see, any one with a gap of 4 is any more. 11, 13, 13, 19, no, 6, 11, 17, 6, okay, 3, 23, 29. Next, okay, one more possibility is if p square is odd and k is even, okay, so k is even prime, that is 2, okay, so these two should result in this, okay, so see those primes which are, okay, now k value 2, okay, the value of k is fixed. We have got 4 unique values here and the value of k is fixed. He is asking what is the number of possible values of k? K is already 3 plus 7 plus 13 plus 19. Okay, so the answer is 5. Okay, so the answer is 5. There are n set of numbers, okay, each having only 3 positive integers which LCM equals to, again, the products and returns, okay, the special numbers, okay, 1, okay, 999, 1003, especially those numbers, okay, which are either that band of 10 to the power of n minus 1. Special numbers I kept on focusing, okay, in my class, that such numbers are very important, okay. So 1001 returns again, okay, there are the numbers each having set of numbers a, b, c, okay. He could have made the, okay, I too even made a mistake here, okay, he could have made this for a distinct, okay, distinct set of numbers, okay, distinct set of numbers, okay, rather a distinct would have made the question much more clearer, okay. So 3 positive integers which LCM equals to 1001 and HCF is equals to 1. So 1001 is 7 into 11 into 13, okay, 1001 is 7 into 11 into 13 and HCF is highest common factor is equals to 1, okay. What is the value of n? Okay, n is n set of numbers are there, okay. You see, the first one is 7 into 11 into 13, okay. The common factor for all this is, the common factor for all of this is what? 1. LCM is this, okay. Next, 1, okay, and a multiple of any one of the numbers, okay. 11 into 13. 3, okay, you see the same 143 into 7, the LCM is still remains the same, okay, but the HCF also does not change, although this, okay, there is nothing common between 7 and this, okay. So all we need to do is choose a pair of, okay, so next one will be 1 into 7 into, okay, I can clearly see that 7 into 143, I could easily write 7 into, okay, this is one number, 11 into 13 into 7. Next one I could write 1 into 13 into, okay, 7 into 11. Okay, next, can we make any more these things? Hmm. So 7 into, okay, all I need to ensure is HF is equals to 1. One 43 11. Okay, I could write 11 into, okay, 77. 13. Okay, these could be one more combinations. Okay, so already I have got 4. I can easily make these combinations. Okay, another 4 of these combinations. Okay, 11 into 7. I could write 11 into 143 into 7. Okay, again the common factor is 1. Okay, so definitely they are going to be more than 8. Okay, I started with 11. I could do the same for, you see, if I fix 11 I am able to make 2. If I fix 13 I will be able to make another 2. If I fix 7 I will be make another 2. Here only I got 6 and here there are already 4. Okay, so definitely more than 8 is the answer. Okay, so I think we have continued for 3 hours. Okay, let us take a small break of 10 minutes. After that we'll again start with so how many have we solved? 28. Okay, we'll start from 29 again. Okay, just a break for 10 minutes. Okay. नहीं नहीं ब्रेक से 5 मिनट
क्या नाम है नारायण माइक वहाँ से कुछ वो कर देना स्कूल्स कितने का होंगे सर 60,000 साउंड तो माइक से आ रहा है माइक डन नहीं 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 माइक ऑफ कंटिन्यू उसी के ऊपर एक माइक का ऑर्डर हो जाएगा जो लाइन चल रही है इस पे यस हां दबाओ उसको हां दबाओ अरे माइक चल रही है वो बंद करनी है पास में अरे सर ये क्या दिख रहा है
Am I audible? Okay. So welcome back. We have seen until what 28. Okay. So probably we'll complete half of the session today, because we are not only just discussing the answers, we are discussing the principles and all. So all 80 questions might not be possible today. So we will do until 40 and we'll pick up the rest. Okay, next of the, and by tomorrow I'll also release a key highlighting whatever it is so that it will be helpful for students. Okay, so now let PQR, okay, let PQR be 3-digit number, where PPT be a let PQR be a 3-digit number, okay, P, Q and R be a 3-digit number, and PPT be a 3-digit number, okay, PPT be a 3-digit number too, okay, and PSB a 2-digit number, PSB a 2-digit number, where P, Q, R, S and T are distinct non-zero digits, okay. Even in my last video before prelims, I have guessed that they will definitely go play with crypto-arithmetic problems, okay. So this is I hope there is 2 or 3 more questions like this, okay. So I'm happy that my guess became right, okay. It might have gone wrong too, but in this case I'm okay. If Q is equals to 3, further PQR minus PS is equal to, if Q is equals to 3 and T is less than 6, okay, Q is equals to 3, okay, so P3R minus PS is PPT, okay, T is less than 6, okay. Always, okay, crypto-arithmetic problems, okay, crypto-arithmetic problems are linear, okay. You should always find out where, okay, most probably, okay, these are algorithm based, all crypto-arithmetic problems are algorithm based. Find a weak point and keep pulling it, you will definitely arrive at the answer, okay. You see how I do this? So we will use the same for every crypto-arithmetic problem too, okay. So what I will focus on here is, so PQ are distinct and Q is T and T is less than 6, okay. I will find that number of possible values R and S, okay, the possible, see, P is coming as it is, okay, that means, okay, no carry is involved here, okay. You take any example, 242 minus 32, okay. So since no carry is involved, that is the only reason why P is able to come here. Now all 3R minus PS, okay, 3R minus of P and S, okay, is PT, okay, where T is less than 6, okay. Now again focus here, since he has given less than 6, there are more possibilities here, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay. So let us see 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9, okay. So what have we used up? We have used up 3 and T only, and T is 6. 3 minus P is equals to P, okay. Now it might have 2 connotations, okay, and at the first itself we have seen that there is no carry from P to this part of the process, okay, P to the left, P to 3, okay. That means whatever the value of 3, it has to be either 3 or less than 3. When will it be less than 3? When it gives a carry for R, okay, it will be less than 3. Now you see, so 3 minus p is p. That means 3 should be expressed as 2p. Is this ever possible? Okay, 2 times a singular digit is odd. No, it is only possible when, okay, what is the only value possible? 2. When this value is 2, it will be equals to 2p. If p is equals to 1, this becomes 2. That means what has happened? Okay, that means one part of 3, okay, there is a carry involved here, so that this value reduces to, instead of 30, it becomes 20. So, okay, p minus p is, so 2 minus 1 is 1. Okay, so now we have understood that there is no carry, okay, there is a carry involved from 3 to r. First, okay, I told you this is all crypto-arithmetic is algorithmic based process. Use an algorithm, okay, you do. First weak point that you look for is there a carry involved, or can I make use of the rightmost or the leftmost digit? Okay, we have seen that p does not have a carry, so we have fixed for 3r and ps. Okay, now I need to see that 2 times of p must be an even number. This is only possible, the only thing possible less than 3 is 2. Okay, that means there is a carry involved now. So, okay, so this becomes, okay, so when a carry is involved, okay, and p value is what? 1. 1 is 1. So 1 is gone. So what will this become now? It is 3r minus of 1s, okay, 3r minus of 1s will be 1, and this value is less than 6. This value is less than 6, that means, okay, so it can't be 1, it can only be 2. Okay, you see I have already cancelled it, it can only be 4, and it can only be 5. Okay, so the value of t can only be, okay, t must be less than 6, and the values are 2, 4 and 5. Okay, now you know that a carry is involved, right? Then only this becomes 2. Okay, so if 1 goes, it becomes 10 plus r. Okay, 10 plus r minus s is either 2, 4 or 5. Okay, 10 plus r minus s is either 2 or 4 or 5. Okay, now, okay, once you consider this 10 plus r minus s is equals to 2. Okay, so, okay, so see the possibilities for this. Okay, see the highest. Okay, always you should always follow a process. Okay, there should be a procedure. Always start with the highest number or lowest possible. Okay, these 3 are digits. Okay, can I write, okay, r is equals to 1? No. Why? R is already taken. Okay, r is already taken by p. Okay, so this is not possible. What is one more possibility? 12 minus 10. Can s value be 10? No, because it is a single digit. Okay, okay, so the only possible value is this, and this is also not possible because the value of r, okay, the value of r which is equals to 1 is already taken by p. Okay, so we have nothing here. So next again go for 10 plus r, 10 plus r minus s is equals to 4. Okay, 10 plus r minus s is equals to 4. Okay, so seek out the highest value here. We need 4, 10 plus 4. Okay, first start with 11. Okay, can r take a value of 1? No. Can r take a value of 2? Okay, so 12 minus 8 is 4. Is 12 and 8 taken? Okay, so now we get, okay, the possibilities for r and s. The possibilities for, okay, r and s. Okay, one possibility is 2 and 8. One possibility is 2 and 8. Okay, next possibility. (13 minus 9) is also 4. So r value is 3. Is r value 3 possible? No. Next value is 14 minus 10. Is this possible? No. Okay. So this is one. Next case is r could be 5. Okay. R is equals to 5. So 10 plus r. Okay. What is the maximum possible value that you can start for? You can start with 11. Is 11 possible for r? No. Okay. So can you start with 12? Okay. 12 minus 7 is equals to 5. Okay. So r and s can be 2 comma 8, 2 comma 7. Okay. 2 comma 7. Nothing is taken here. Next. 13 minus 8. Is this possible? Can I take r a value of 3? No. Why? Already q is given. Okay. Next. 14 minus 9 is equals to 5. Can I take r value of 4? Yes, we can take r value. Okay. R value 4, then s value is 9. Okay. Then 4 and 9. Okay. 4 and 9. Any more possibilities? Okay. So the answer is definitely 3. Okay. Okay. I hope you appreciate the effort that goes on behind, because okay. So I am giving you the method that you can use in solving an examination. I could have easily said that, okay, this is only possible, okay, 3r minus, okay, p3r minus ps is only possible in the following cases, because this is already p is equals to 1. So something into 130 minus of ps, okay, is equals to ppt. Okay, I could easily said 132 minus 17, okay, is 115. Next, 132 minus 18. Okay, this is post facto answers. Once I know the solution, I could okay, using a calculator and all this, I could have used that, but thinking in an exam is much more important. Okay, so that is why the way to think in an examination is this. Okay, I hope this is clear. Next, 30. Consider the sequence. Okay, consider the sequence. Okay, for all, first count the number of, okay, the number of spaces 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, or how many? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, so 13 plus 5, 18. Okay, 13 plus 5 is 18. So 18 can be divided into a blocks of 6. Okay, a blocks of 6 only. Okay. Okay, if there are 16, there will be a blocks of 4. If there are 14, okay, people who have attended okay, my CSAT course would have definitely known this. Okay, so the easiest way to solve, instead of putting options and this is, okay, finding out, calculating the number. So make a partitions of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, now, okay, always, now what do? You focus on a single digit. Okay, a single space. You see, the last digit is C. That means it also has to be C. Okay, so all 3 digits are CCC. So last has to be CCC. Okay, now focus on this. Second digit is C. Second digit is C. Last digit is C. So the answer is, okay. So if you make a pattern, what are you going to get? A, B, B, C, C, C. All the pattern are A, B, B, A, B, B, C, C, C. Okay. Okay. The most efficient way is to solve, okay, using partitions. Okay. So this is also a round 1 question. Okay. You should have solved it within a minute. Okay. In our country, regrettably, okay, in our country, regrettably, teaching and learning from the examination have been our forte. Okay, in our country, regrettably, teaching and learning from the examination have been forte. Okay, we just teach and learn, okay, with respect to examination only. Okay, So we do only things for a goal, which is just pass an exam. Okay. But the new demands of the society and the future of work require critical and independent of think. Okay. Critical and independent thinking demands. Okay. The new demands of the society of work. Okay. But the new demands of the society and the future of work require critical and independent learning through doing, asking questions from multiple using evidence. Okay. So these are all details. Okay. What are the have been or what, but new demands required. So he is asking what is independent thinking. He is giving details of critical and independent thinking. He is telling that, okay, the author wants to convey that we are only looking for we are teaching or learning in the same way to okay, just for passing an examination, but the new demands of a modern economy, the new demands of a modern economy wants us, okay, wants us to develop critical thinking. And what are the components of critical thinking? Okay, this asking questions from learning through doing, all okay, multidisciplinary. So you could go faster here. Why? Because these are details. So okay, the main idea of the passage, I hope you have gotten here. The main idea of the passage is we should okay inculcate critical and independent thinking in our education system. Okay, reflecting in articulation. Higher education should not either be a mere servant of government policy or a passive respondent to public mood. Okay, so higher education should not be within the limits set by either by the government or the public mood, okay, or a passive response to the public mood. Higher learning is all about how to think rather than what to think. Okay, teaching has to be reinvented. Teaching has to be reinvented. Okay, so if you get the main idea is we need critical thinking. Okay, we need critical thinking and critical and independent thinking in our classroom program. Okay, and for that teaching has to be reinvented. Okay, so now let us with that main idea in mind, let us answer the questions. Which one of the following statement best reflects the central idea conveyed by the passage? Okay, India does not have enough resources. Are we talking about the capability of India? No, we are just talking about we have this problem and we need to solve it. Okay, the passage never talks about whether we could solve it or not, we could not solve it or not. Okay, all we are looking for is okay, India. Okay, so this is wrong. Okay, because the passage does not okay entertain this thought. The institutions of higher learning in the country should not be under the control of government. Okay, now you get okay. The main idea is critical and independent. Okay, this is there, but this is only a part of the passage. Is this the main idea? Is this what the author wants to force upon you? No, author wants to tell that critical and independent thinking is important, and for that to happen, one of the conditions is critical and for independency. Okay, in teaching it has to be beyond the control of government. Okay, but this is not the main idea. Okay, classroom approach to higher education should be done away with. Okay, are we telling that classrooms are bad? No, we are telling the way we are teaching the way we are teaching needs, that classroom needs to be thrown away. So this is all wrong. Okay, so the answer is classroom needs to be imagined. Okay, and teaching needs to be reinvented. Okay, I have seen okay some institutes preferring this answer. Okay, although that is there in the passage, that is not the main idea that the author wants to tell. Okay, so the answer is definitely D. Okay, this is another one with reference to the above passage. Okay, following assumptions have been made. Education is a constantly evolving subject. Okay, that needs to align towards new developments in all the spheres of society. Okay, that needs to align towards new developments in all the spheres of the society. Okay, this okay tells me the alarm. Okay, this tells me is wrong here. Okay, let us go back to the passage. Okay, you see, asking okay have been or whatever, but the new demands of the society. but the new demands of the society and the future of work require. Okay, so society, okay, new demand, okay, we should cater to new demands of the society. Okay, new demands of the society with respect to what are we talking of the society with respect to learning or teaching. Okay, what is the passage about? It is about the problem with our learning and teaching. So what will okay, what will the society demand? It will obviously demand with in regards to learning and teaching only. Okay, but what is the okay option seems to suggest? The option seems okay higher education subject, okay, that needs to align towards new developments in all the spheres. A society will have many spheres. Okay, it may have a political sphere, it might have an economical sphere. Okay, nowhere in the passage is okay, it tells that higher education should cater to all the spheres of the society. No, 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 no. Higher education should cater to the new demands of the society. With respect to what? With respect to learning and teaching only. Okay, so I have seen many people okay forget that it is all spheres of the society. Okay, forget the trap that it is all the society. So in our country sufficient funds are not allocated for no, we are not talking about that. We are okay, we are just talking about okay whether funds are allocated or not. There is no evidence in the passage, okay, regarding that. Okay, so okay, definitely, okay, according to me the answer is neither 1 or 2, but there have been many institutes which have gone for okay, which have gone for A because they failed to all spheres of the society. If the passage was suggesting that all spheres of the society, okay, I would have agreed that, but the passage never suggests that in all spheres of the society. Okay, it has not mentioned this. For this is okay, neither 1 nor be confused by some institutes giving 1. Okay, but that is definitely the trap of next. If there is inequality, okay, if there is inequality in the pattern of population growth, okay, there is greater, if there is inequality in pattern of population growth, there is greater inequality in food and production. Okay, so if there is inequality in pattern of population growth, okay, if there is inequality in population growth, okay, then there is much more, okay, greater inequality in food production and utilization. Okay, food production and food utilization, okay, there is a greater inequality. As societies become wealthier, their consumption of animal products increases. Okay, as societies become wealthier, their consumption of products increases, means that a greater portion of such basic foodstuff as grains and legumes that could feed humans directly is instead being converted into feeder for poultry and large farm animals. Yet this conversion of plant-based food into animal food for for humans is far from efficient. Okay, far from efficient. Only 16% of the calories which covered when we eat them. This conversion rate goes down to 5 to 7% in large animals. Okay, large animals and fat. So what is the idea is that okay, there is an inefficiency in animal based food production. Okay, animal based food production. Okay, so it is compared with plant based and actually has advantages. Next, which one of the following crux of the passage? Okay, there is an urgent need to promote the consumption of cereal based food in wealthier societies. We are talking about, then he has converted it into cereal. Next, we have a problem. Suggests that we need to solve this problem. No, the problem may lie, may not lie. Okay, it is bounds of the passage. The passage only suggests that we have a problem. It never suggests what are the solutions for this problem. But what is this doing? It is solution. Okay, it is okay. It is giving you solutions. Okay, so it is doing a post facto analysis and say that okay, we have a problem, then we need to do this. No, the passage does not suggest any of this. Okay, so one on based on C a solution. Okay, it is not reflected in the passage. Animal based food is far less efficient in terms of production and utilization. Okay, so this is what the passage suggests. Okay, plant based, we are talking about food. He has started about plant based protein. Okay, so this is definitely wrong. Inequality in food production and consumption is. What was the passage suggesting? The passage suggesting that there is a great, it is suggesting a problem, but is it suggesting that it is inevitable in all the following cases, in all the possible cases? No, it is not. Okay, so the answer is B. Okay, B seems to be universal. Okay, so there is no conflict in what solution here. Okay, B is definitely answer. Next. Okay, with reference to the following assumptions have been made. The food manufacturing and processing industries. Okay, the food manufacturing and processing industries in every country should align their objective. Okay, should align their objectives and process in accordance with is. Okay, what is the passage talking about? That plant based food is much efficient than animal based food. Is the passage talking about industry? Okay, has it talked about some countries should do this, some countries should do this? Is there a talk of a country? Okay, so not there. Should align their objectives and process in accordance with changing needs of the society. Are we talking about that when society changes we need to change the food? Is that the main idea? When society changes, food food also need to change? No, he has just stated a fact that normally when society as people get wealthier, they changes there comes food in there comes changes in their food production and utilization, but it is not guaranteed that whenever a society changes it will definitely change its food production. Okay, so wealthier societies, so this is one. Why? It is because it never talks of it being a universal rule for every country. Okay, next, it being this is not the main idea of the passage, mainstay of the passage. Wealthier societies tend to incur greater loss of calories of food materials due to indirect utilization of their agricultural produce. Excellent, this is what the passage is talking about. Okay, the passage is talking about as wealthier societies tend to they tend to focus on animal based food. You see, even that's why I always tell you to focus on verbs. Okay, you see, whatever that is reflected in the passage, the passage is discussing an instance, and that is being reflected in the option. When tend to means, it is not that every time it happens, they tend to incur greater loss of calories of food materials due to indirect utilization of their agricultural produce. This is definitely 2. So the answer is B, 2 only. Okay. Okay, so what is the maximum value of what is the maximum value of n such that 7 into is divisible by 35 to the power of n? For divisibility, what is 35? 35 is 5 into 7 to the power of n. Now we need to see how many pairs of 5 and 7 are there in this. So, and what is the list one? 7 cube is 343, and this is 7 into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 385 also has a 7. Okay, 7 into, so 1, 4, 5. Okay, it is more than 6. I am not seeing this. Okay, now let us see the number of 5s. Okay, 5 always a multiple of 5. This you divide this by 5. 5. Okay, 385. Okay, 35 again. So it is 5 into 7 into 11. So there is 5 here, and 1000. Can you write this as? Okay, 100 into 10. What is 100? 5 square into 4 into 5 into 2. Okay, so there is 1 5 here. There is 3 5s here. So what is the rarer among 7 and 3? Sorry, 7 and 5, which are needed to make 35? It is, okay, 5 is much more rarer. So how many 5s, how many pairs? Okay, the pairs of 5 depends upon, okay, the one which is rare. So 5 is, okay, how many 5s are there? 4. Okay, 1 here and 3 here. Okay, so the answer is n has a maximum possibility of this. Okay. What is x in the sequence? Okay, same. You see, 12 into 18. Okay. How do you recognize it is multiplication? You see, 12 into 18, 6. Okay. So it is increasing at a constant rate. Okay, 12 and 18 here. It is 36 here, and it is into the 90s here. So, okay, the value is, okay, at a geometric pace. So it is not addition that is involved, it is multiplication that is involved. So now for 8, it is 118 into 2, 36. Okay, 36 into 2.5 is 90. Okay, so now I get that. Okay. Okay, so this has to be into 0.5. Okay, so it suits the picture. So the answer is 12. Okay, so the answer is 12. Okay, so this is also a round 1 question. You should have done this. This is also a round 1 question. Okay, so especially these round 1 questions become in this CSAT. If you would have solved all the round 1 questions, okay, then there is, okay, the probability for you clearing CSAT have become, okay. P and Q walk on a circular track. Okay, they start at 5 AM from the same point in opposite directions. Okay, start in opposite directions. Okay, what is the number of walks they will do? Okay, one is 5 rounds per hour, another one is 3 rounds per hour. Okay, so the total number of this is, okay, since they are going in the opposite direction, okay, number of meetings is sum of their speed. So 5 plus 3 is 8. That means they will meet, okay, 8 times in 1 hour. 8 times in 1 hour. Why? Because 5 rounds per hour and Q walks at a rate of 3 rounds per hour. So combining this, okay, they will meet at rounds per hour. That means he is asking 5:20 to 7. They start at 5. Okay, now one more important thing is whether in between they consider this 7 or not. Okay, they consider this 7 or not. They go 8 times. In 2 hours they meet 16 times. That means the 16th time is at 7 o'clock. Okay, so your answer depends whether UPSC has considered this 7 AM or not. Okay, so what is the easiest way to do this? Okay, 16 times they meet in 2 hours, but our okay, counting time is from, okay, counting time is from 5:20, and in 60 minutes they meet 8 times, so it is 7.5. Okay. So they meet at 5 o'clock. Okay. They meet at 5 7.5 minutes. They'll meet at 5 and 15 minutes, and next one is 5 and 22.5 minutes. Okay. From now the counting will start. So what will not be counted? 1, 2 and 3. Okay. So 16 minus 3. Okay. Between 520. So if they consider 7, okay, if they consider 7 as okay, as a part of it, so it will be 14. Or if they literally look for a literal answer, okay, literal meaning of this between 520 and 7, the answer is 13 or 14. Okay, they could have made this much more. Okay, so if it is the literal interpretation, the answer will be 13. Otherwise, if they include 7, the answer will be 14. Okay. So I hope this is clear. Okay. If P is equals to plus, Q is equals to minus, or okay, then insert the proper notations between. Okay. 15, 3, okay, 24 is equal to 20. This is also a round 1 question you should have done at the first. Okay. So first, what is S? Divided P is plus Q is SP. Okay. 3 minus R is multiplication. Okay. So board mass. Four plus 3 into 20 minus 4. Okay, then subtraction. 4 plus. Definitely this is not going to cut it. Okay, so A is wrong. Next, or see 15, 3, 20, 20. Okay, so Q is minus, P is plus. Okay, so 20 divided by 5, it is 5. Okay, into 3 is 45, minus of 60 minus 45 is 20. Okay, so definitely. Okay, okay, so you just need to substitute. So this is also a round 1 question. Okay, you should have done this in the round 1 itself. Okay, next, a tram overtakes. Okay, a tram overtakes X and Y walking at an average speed. Sorry. Okay, one is walking at 3 kilometers, another one is walking at 4 kilometers in the same direction and completely passes them in. Okay, 8 seconds and 8 seconds and seconds. With seconds, so we need to multiply with 5 by 18. So what is the relative speed? Okay, okay, velocity of the train into 5 by 18. Okay, 5 by 18 into 8 seconds is equals to V minus 4 into 5 by 18 into 9. Okay. Okay, you could solve this question. Okay, anyhow, these two get cancelled, so we will get 3 into 5 equals to V minus 4 into 9. Okay. Okay, so the distance traveled must be same, right? Okay, so 5v minus, solve this equation, you are going to get, okay, okay. So the answer for this is 20 meters. Okay, so all we need is, what is the length that is involved? Okay, person is a point object, so whatever the length they are crossing is the length of the train only. Okay, same train they are crossing, so relative speed into, okay, distance is equals to speed into time. So relative speed is v minus 3 in one case, v minus 4 in one case. Okay, 20 meters. Okay, next. Again, okay, in the same, you see the 1001 question has been repeated, the crypto-arithmetic question has been repeated twice. Okay, even this, okay, I think in 2022 or 2023 they gave a question like this. Okay, whenever you multiply 11, okay, you see two ones are involved, it is 1 to 1 into triple 1 is, okay, 1 2 3 to 1. Okay, so the number of threes, okay, sorry, the number of ones, okay, the number of ones in both the, okay, both will result in the square. Okay, those many numbers will be square. Okay, you go on like this, 4 bull 1 into 4 bull 1, the resultant will be 1 2 3 4. Okay, and this is the property. So okay, we have discussed 22 or 23. Okay, the same one. If n square is equal, but then how many digits? Now you see the pattern, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. You see it is increasing and then decreasing. So how many ones are there? 2 ones are there. Okay, 2 is the maximum number, so 2 ones are there. Here you see 1 2 3, it is increasing till 3 and again reducing. So how many ones are there? 3 ones are there. Okay, in the same way, how many are here? 9. Okay, that means the n square root of this will be 1 1. Okay, like this, 9 ones, okay, into 1. So how many digits are there? Definitely 9. Okay, so the answer is B. Okay, flip. Okay, so you will agree with me, okay, with the fact that you definitely need, okay, change its course from, okay, based upon, rather than, okay, a predetermined set of questions, they are, okay, focusing more on properties. And you might have seen in the 40 questions that we have done till now, okay, those questions for which you need to solve the, okay, you need to develop the answer, okay, as you go on, okay, and those percentage of questions have improved, but it does not mean that there are no round 1 questions here. We have, in these 40 questions, we probably have seen at least, okay, 10 round 1 questions. Okay, so your qualification in CSAT depends whether you are able to, okay, solve these questions, okay, correctly in the time required. Okay, So we'll stop at this 40. Okay, at least okay, you are able to get the concepts, and even in passages you are able to get on what parameters do you need to judge an option based upon. Okay, so even in when there are doubts, I have given you, especially in case of passages, why one question is right. Okay, so to provide you the most authentic paper, okay, or most authentic solution. So you could base your preparation or preparation on this and decide for yourself whether you are able to clear CSAT or not. Okay, so I hope okay, this has been informative for all of you, and if any new concepts are there, I hope you would have learned it well. Okay, so in the next session we'll start from okay 40 to 82 questions, okay, where we'll follow the same format. If there are any discrepancies okay, with respect to passages, we'll see what is the best answer, okay, and okay, if any concepts are involved, okay, we'll not just see the solution but also see the better way to solve the problem and efficient way to solve the problem and the normal way. Okay, I hope we have learned something from this session. Tomorrow at the same time we'll start at okay, we'll start at 10:30 and we'll see the rest of the questions. Okay, thank you. We'll end it here.
Yes, sir.